Good evening, everyone. From Peoples Bank Park, the Lancaster Barnstormers and the York Revolution continue to clash in this season-ending three-game series. And for the Lancaster Barnstormers, this is game 139 of a campaign that has had absolutely no let-up. The Barnstormers have been in a fight for first place in the Freedom Division all year. They have not been too far back. They have not been too far ahead. They lost out the first half by one game on the makeup against Southern Maryland. And now the Barnstormers 2 out with 2 to play and going head-to-head against the York Revolution here. So this has been some season of Barnstormers baseball. 139 games, absolutely no let-up. It has been a total grind for this team, but they're still in it. They're in it to win it, as the saying goes. And tonight, Brad Bergeson will be taking the hill for the Barnstormers. Now, under a lot of circumstances, Bergeson probably, and if the Barnstormers had somehow clinched, he would have been shut down until the playoffs. But he's still out there grinding. He is going to give what he has tonight. You may remember that the last time he started last Sunday, he came out after 4 innings and not all that many pitches, and we didn't know if we would see him on the mound again. He's going to gut it out here tonight. Bergeson trying for the 7th time now to win his 10th game of the season. He'll match up against a guy who dominated the Barnstormers the first time he faced him, and then the last time the Barnstormers saw Victor Mateo, he had trouble. He gave up 9 hits in 4 innings. The Barnstormers got off to a fast start. They won that ball game against Mateo by a score of 7-5. Bergeson coming in at 9-9. Mateo is 6-9 on the season. The Barnstormers still need to win both of these remaining games to go to the playoffs. If they do not, then it will be York against Southern Maryland starting on Wednesday. However, if the Barnstormers pull it off, if they sweep this series against the York Revolution, they will open at home on Wednesday against the Blue Crabs in the first round of the championship series. Also still up for grabs is the Liberty Division in the second half, leading by 2 with 2 to go. They do not play each other, the Long Island Ducks and the Bridgeport Bluefish. So Bridgeport has to win 2, Long Island has to lose 2, and then Bridgeport would go. Long Island rallied late last night, 8-4, a victory over the Sugar Land Skeeters to drop their magic number to 1. Well, it is the final weekend of the series. I open the year interviewing the coaching staff. I close the year interviewing the coaching staff, and a guy that certainly we all respected as a player last year is Josh Bell. And now watching Josh, getting to know Josh in this dual role as a player coach, it was not what he signed on to do. He was pressed into that with all the players getting signed. His days are long. He's always the last guy to take BP after throwing BP. He has contributed what he has been able to out on the field, and just a remarkable year getting to know Josh Bell in these various capacities that he has held on this ball club. Just a level-headed, kind soul who is a very good baseball player and a very good baseball coach. And I'll be back with Josh in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
The kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself. There isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
It's a new season with a new manager, but Gockenauers is still here supporting your 2017 Lancaster Barnstormers. Hi, I'm Adam Gockenauer, and I want you to know Gockenauers is committed to serving you and our local community in everything we do. We've been in business for 68 years and are 4 generations strong. Stop in today to see how appliance and grill shopping can be a pleasant experience and save you money at the same time. I'll be back after the Dugout Report to tell you about our special events this season.
Welcome back to this episode of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report as we continue to wind down the 2017 regular season. And joining me is first baseman, third baseman, occasionally second baseman, hitting coach, BP pitcher, and every once in a while relief pitcher Josh Bell. And Josh, this is game 139 of this season, and it dawned on me today that every game has really mattered. This team's been kind of on the hot seat since day one, since starting the season 0-4, and ultimately it has been an incredibly rewarding year, but there's one big reward left to come.
Yeah, I mean, I applaud these guys for, just fighting, keeping their head in the game, working all year. These guys, they deserve, a playoff shot, and just losing guys throughout the year. I know that's, kind of what the gig is, and, you try to get guys out of here. But even when we had, key pieces leave, we had guys really step up, and just the year that Holton's had, and, in a whole bunch of offensive categories and keep the pace that he's done. And some great additions, guys that Ross has brought in, and Cole Gardner, and just, pitchers and guys that he knows and that he brings in that have really helped us out. And I guess it's just not trying to break stride and just keep it going. And it's, like I said, I applaud these guys for what they've done.
How nice was it to see that 6-run first inning last night?
I mean, especially in a game, in these last 3 games for the playoff push, it's, you don't know how any of the games are going to go, but, to jump on a starting pitcher and put up, the runs like that in the first, it's great to see. It's, I feel like it's not just for that game. It's kind of fuel for the rest of the series, and I'm just hoping that we stick to it and just keep putting the good at bats together and hopefully at the end of this we'll be in a position that we want to be in.
As these games go by and we get closer to what I think would be considered, the miracle comeback once again, like this team has done in individual games all season long. Does the pressure get more intense as the games go by, or does it get less intense?
I think every game is the pressure. It's the game. I don't think there's a way to really turn it on or off. It's you come out and you play a baseball game. No one's trying to, make errors or mess up. Everyone's trying to do their best. So you just understand that, they're going to come in spurts. You're not going to play well. Then you're going to play, exceptionally well. And then you're going to have your days where the first couple innings seem like it's, the energy's down. It literally takes, just a couple of bats, and then, you can just see the energy change. And, I think with our lineup, we're fighting for 9 innings, and that's the goal. I feel like with any team, and I'm not sure who he said it to, but I remember Derek Jeter asking, one of the rookie guys, like, do you have butterflies, playing, and the guy was like, yeah, I do, and he goes, well, that's good, because that means that you should have that, even him, you still feel that every game. So I wouldn't say that it's a bad pressure. I think that it's just the pressure of playing the games. It's such a hard game, especially, in between the lines, just trying to hit, even if a pitcher throws the ball right down the middle, it's not guaranteed that you're going to hit. You might hit it right at somebody. So it's just kind of the key hits, even if it's a broken bat, blooper or whatever it is. It's just in these games, it's momentum. You just have to build the momentum and keep the momentum on your side. And I feel like that's how you win the games is the momentum shifts. It's bunting guys over, the little things. It's just momentum. When they have the momentum going and they're hitting home runs or they're bunting and getting guys over, you just see the way that the game's going. It's like they have the momentum. So I think in these games, it's just about keeping the momentum on our side and staying locked in for 9 innings.
Is there something you're most proud of, or one person you're most proud of among the hitters this year?
You know what? I honestly think it's been a collective. The guys as a whole has been great. Obviously, there's some guys that that have the numbers and that have put stuff together. But I honestly think that without your lineup 1 through 9. Getting guys on base for that guy to get the RBIs or whatever it is. That's the team. It's a team win. It's an individual thing. You have to do your part, but it's 9 guys are hitting in the lineup. So they contribute to anything, how many at bats you get or or just setting you up for something or whatever it is. So I think in all aspects of this whole season, I feel like guys have filled into their role, and we've been able to do situations, 5 hitters back up. I'm proud of all of them. I'm there working with them every day, and these guys want it. They want it. They want to be here. They want to work. I know you said, before about Holton that he's played in 103 consecutive games. That's to me, with the grind of a season and working every day. He works every day, and he comes out and plays the 9 innings every day. And, to me, that's just what this is all about. It's how bad you guys want it. And, I think guys on our team, they really want to be here, and, it shows.
Future plans for Josh Bell. What's coming up this winter?
Not too sure. Still, staying in shape, getting ready for next year, whatever that may be. And, looking for, I'm not really even looking forward to anything in the winter. I'm just kind of looking forward to today and, and tomorrow. And, whatever happens after that is, it's whatever. I'm focused on these last 2 games.
Well, Josh, it's really been a pleasure working with you in this capacity this year, or these capacities. I guess we should make it plural this season, and wherever it takes you. Best wishes, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Josh Bell joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Starting lineups for tonight's game come your way next right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Another great dugout report. Adam Gockenauer from Gockenauer Appliances back with you again to remind you to please stop by our showroom in East Petersburg to see all the best appliance brands on the market today. Brands like GE, Maytag, Whirlpool, Speed Queen, and Fisher & Paykel. We not only can save you money on your purchase, but provide you with our own service, delivery, and installation. Join our family and let us show you how fun appliance shopping can be. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Hey, Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
Well, here are those starting lineups for tonight's game. Darian Sanford will lead off for the Barnstormers. He'll be in center. Bo Amaral is in left, batting second. Cole Garner will be the DH and bat third. Sean Halton is the cleanup hitter and third baseman. Caleb Gindel will protect Halton out of the number 5 spot. Gindel in right field. The shortstop batting sixth. Coming off the big game last night is Nate Coronado. Steve Clevenger will bat seventh. He will catch. Josh Bell, the first baseman, will hit eighth. And the second baseman in the number 9 slot is Lance Zawatsky. Brad Bergeson with the start. His record 9-9 and his earned run average 4.48. For the Revolution this evening, Alonzo Harris leading off in left. The right fielder batting number 2 is Jared Mitchell. Ruby Silva will bat third. He'll be at second base. Telvin Nash, the cleanup hitter, is the first baseman. Isaias Tejeda will be doing the catching and batting fifth. Daron Verona is the designated hitter. He will bat sixth. Then Travis Witherspoon in center. Ryan Dent at shortstop. And Chase Simpson at third base, rounding out the lineup here tonight. Victor Mateo is on the hill. Mateo with a record of 6-9 and a 4.20 earned run average. Bergeson 1-1 against the Revs. Mateo 1-1 against the Barnstormers. Who will have the better game? We'll soon find out right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
You're never too young to appreciate a great deal. The Barnyard Bunch is back and better than ever. Members get field box tickets for 6 home games presented by Penn State Hershey, plus 6 free passes to B.R. Kreider Kids Park, 2 free Isaac's Kids Meals, 2 tickets to the Chocolate World 4D Experience, 2 passes to Hands-On House, an exclusive Barnyard Bunch t-shirt, and plenty more in a summer of fun at Clipper Magazine Stadium. All for just $25. Sign up at the stadium or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com/BarnyardBunch, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Hey, Jane, check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with 9s in a line, you could win Progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Please rise and remove all covers, and welcome the First Capital Fife and Drum for the performance of our national anthem.
A fife and drum version of the national anthem this evening at People's Bank Park as we continue a 3-game series to close out the 2017 season. And, of course, the Barnstormers are in that must-win mode. It is now as if they are down 2-1 in a best-of-5 series. They took last night's series opener in a big way, 11-1 against Jay Gauss and the York Revolution. They pretty much put it away very early last night, a 6-run first. By the time the top of the 4th was over, the Barnstormers led 9-1 and cruised to the 11-1 victory. Tonight they'll be facing Victor Mateo, big right-hander, 6'5", 225 pounds from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. He is 28 years of age. Mateo signed with the Rays back in 2009 and won 12 games in both the single A level at Bowling Green, Kentucky in 2011 and with the Montgomery Biscuits in the AA Southern League in 2014. He peaked at AAA, a couple of stints at Gwinnett in the Atlanta Braves organization over the last 2 years. With the Revolution, Mateo 6-9. His ERA is 4.20. He has allowed 160 hits in 137 innings, 64 earned runs. He has walked 44 and struck out 61. He is a contact pitcher. The Barnstormers, who had been scoring runs in droves, did not handle him very well. The first time that they faced him, they scored only 1 run in 7 innings. That was on a home run by Sean Halton. Then the last time they got the Mateo for 9 hits and 5 runs in 4 innings in a stretch where the Barnstormers weren't hitting the ball all that well. So tonight, Darian Sanford, Bo Amaral, and Cole Garner will be facing Mateo as we get the ball game underway. Lancaster in a must-win situation. If they do, we'll go to tomorrow, and it will be like the 7th game of the World Series. The winner goes to the playoffs. The loser will go home. Darian Sanford leading off for the Barnstormers, batting .328 with 25 runs batted in. He takes a ball outside and low for Mateo. Ball 1, no strikes. Chase Simpson at third, Ryan Dent at short, Ruby Silva at second base, Telvin Nash over at first, Harris, Witherspoon, and Mitchell, the outfield from left to right. Tejeda tonight doing the catching. And ball 2, missing to Darian Sanford, 2-0. Last night, Sanford walked leading off the ball game, and that led to the first 7 Barnstormers reaching base. By the time the first out was recorded, 5 runs had scored. Sanford gets the 2-0 inside and low. 3 balls, no strikes to Darien. He'll be taking at least 1, if not 2 here. Sanford trying to get on base and ignite the offense. Here comes the 3-0. Settling into the zone for a strike from Mateo. The count goes to 3-1. Mateo, not a terribly hard thrower. The 3-1 pitch, Sanford taking again, and strike 2 is registered on the inner part of the plate. No threat of rain tonight. Beautiful day, beautiful evening here in South Central PA. 3-2, and Sanford pops this up behind the pitcher's mound. Coming in, calling for it, the shortstop, Ryan Dent. He'll make the catch. Sanford retired, and there is 1 away in the opening frame. Bo Amaral stepping in. Amaral 3 for 5 with 3 runs scored last night to boost his season average to 292. 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Bridgeport leads the league in team batting average, but the Barnstormers and the Revolution, the top 2 in runs scored and slugging percentage and OPS. Bridgeport, that slap hitting team that has driven the Barnstormers nuts, but they don't hit that many home runs, not like these 2 ball clubs have. Amaral stepping in against the right-hander Mateo. 1 out, nobody on base. The motion and the delivery. Angles over but low. Ball 1, no strikes. Jorge Terran calling balls and strikes tonight. The first base umpire, Thomas Gandolfo. Manolo Alejandro is over at third. 1-0. Amaral gets ball 2. Mateo falling behind, his second consecutive batter. Tejeda setting the target to Amaral. It's again popped up. And this is towering over the right side of the infield. Telvin Nash signaling for it. He'll make the catch in fair territory. 2 up and 2 down. Mateo getting the Barnstormers to pop out. Well, they're ahead in the count. Cole Garner, the designated hitter, coming to the plate. Garner at .323 with 8 home runs, 45 runs batted in. A little bit banged up, so he sat out last night. Back in there this evening. Last time out, Mateo walked 5, but allowed only 2 hits over 5 innings. Did not get a decision in a 2-1 York win over the Long Island Ducks. Squibber on the right side. Up with it quickly is Silva. He'll throw out Garner. And Victor Mateo sets the Barnstormers down in 1-2-3 fashion. Nobody hits the ball hard here in the top half of the first inning. End of a half, Lancaster nothing. York is coming up.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Brad Bergeson on the hill for the Barnstormers this evening. He comes in at 9-9 over his 24 starts. Ferguson has thrown 134 and 2/3 innings. He's given up 164 hits, but walked only 26. He has struck out 83 on the year. Backing him up defensively, Sean Holton at third, Nate Coronado at short, Lance Sawansky at second, Josh Bell is at first. The outfield has Bo Amaral in left with Darian Sanford in center, Caleb Gindel in right, and Steve Clevenger is doing the catching. Ferguson on the hill. He'll be facing left fielder Alonzo Harris leading off. Harris is batting .311 with 22 home runs and 71 runs driven in. Was named the York Revolution Player of the Year, and I think he and Halton, Michael Snyder perhaps duking it out for Player of the Year in the Atlantic League. Mark Krause may be in there. Kyle Roller. Ball one is low to Harris. 1 ball and no strikes from Bergeson. Jared Mitchell and Ruby Silva to follow. Back comes Bergeson. The pitch is driven toward the gap. Left center field. Sprinting over is Amaral. He can't get to it. That ball deep into the alley. He gets to it before it rolls all the way to the wall, but Harris will cruise into second base with a leadoff double. Well, the Revs are underway. Man in scoring position with nobody out. Jared Mitchell, the right fielder, coming in. .297 for Mitchell on the year with 14 home runs and 61 knocked in. The Revs know how great the Barnstormers are in the late innings. And I would have to think that York would want to put together an inning early tonight, as the Barnstormers did last night. And Lancaster will not be shy about going to the bullpen at any point here. Harris leading from second base. Bergeson to the high set. He'll work to Mitchell, and this is lifted to left field. Back toward the corner goes Amaral. Bo is there, makes the catch in fair territory. Harris cannot advance on it. That's a big first out for Brad. 1 away. The runner still at second. Ruby Silva will step in, left-handed batting second baseman. He was hot coming into this series, but the Barnstormers corralled him pretty well last night. He was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and admittedly a very long fly out to right field. Gave us a scare momentarily in the third inning before Trayvon Robinson hauled it in on the warning track. 6 out of 18 now for Silva with a double, a triple, a home run, and 2 runs driven in. Harris leading off second with 1 away. Bergeson will come to the plate and miss low. Ball 1, no strikes. First baseman Telvin Nash waiting on deck. No score, lower half of the first inning. Victor Mateo got through the Barnstormers pretty quickly in the top of the inning. And the offering, down and away, 2-0 to Silva. Barnstormers were able to attack Silva low last night. He swung and missed over the top of a lot. He's got very good bat speed. Former AAA player in the Chicago Cubs organization. The Revs got him out of a Can-Am league. 2-0 pitch. Silva fouls it the other way. 2 balls, 1 strike. Brad Bergeson, the right-hander from originally Pleasanton, California. Now living in Auburn, Alabama, former Oriole. Brad will soon turn 32. His birthday in 9 days. 2 balls, 1 strike, and a Silva. Ground ball base hit into right field. Here comes Harris. He is going to score. The throw will be cut off by Josh Bell. RBI base hit for Silva. York takes a 1-0 lead. Telvin Nash, the first baseman, stepping to the plate. Third run batted in for Silva over the handful of games, 5 games he has been with this ball club. Telvin Nash will step in. Nash at .281. He has hit 16 home runs since coming here, and he has knocked in 37. Well, Bergeson hit fairly hard here in the opening inning. He's got to find a way to get outs on contact. Double for Harris, single for Silva, combining to produce the run. Now Nash taking a pitch low, ball 1, no strikes. Isaias Tejeda, the catcher, will bat next. Infield set up, double play depth. They play Nash to pull. Halton guards the line over at third. The pitch is rifled foul into the seats down the third base line. It's about the only section that is relatively empty tonight here at Peoples Bank Park. Otherwise, a very good crowd. 1 ball, 1 strike to the big first baseman, Telvin Nash. Isaias Tejeda waiting on deck. Now the Barnstormers have to come from behind again tonight. 1-1 on the way, outside and low to Nash. Ball 2 and a strike. Lancaster long ago clinched the best overall record in the Freedom Division for the season. They have won 75. They have dropped 63. They're up by 8 games in that category, but by the setup of the Atlantic League, that's not what matters. It's not what gets you to the promised land. Liner foul again by Nash, 2-2. Lancaster lost the first half by 1 game, game 70. Head-to-head against Southern Maryland. They fell that night, and another chance to win it head-to-head right at the very end. Looming here. They'll need to come back in this one to Nash. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ferguson to the high set and the offering. High fly ball out the left. The ball is carrying that way tonight. Back goes Amaral. Bo sets up against that big wall and makes the catch. Throw in the second base, holding Silva at first. Amaral having to learn to play that 37-foot wall. It can be intimidating. It's more intimidating than the picnic wall is in Lancaster. And Amaral twice has had to get back onto the track over there and haul one in this opening inning. Here is Tejeda, the catcher. 305 with 17 home runs and 78 runs batted in. Silva has not tried to steal a base here in the Atlantic League. That's not to say he won't here. I think York wants to swing the bats tonight and not risk outs on the bases. Ferguson will fire to first base. Silva jumping back in. 1-0 in favor of the Revs. They're trying to get to the playoffs for the second year in a row. They faced Sugar Land in the opening round last year. York won the first half last season. Slider for strike. Tejeda batting at 0-1. Sugar Land swept through the playoffs 16, but the Skeeters will not be returning to the postseason in 17. They put on a heck of a run at the end. Fastball inside and low, 1 ball, 1 strike. And they had the pitching to do it, but losing Jeremy Barfield and Andy Wilkins pretty quickly during that first half, they never recovered from that. They never had that big bopper in the middle of the order that they so badly needed. To Tejeda outside, throw down by Clevenger. Back in is Silva. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count on Isaias Tejeda. Dyrone Verona, the designated hitter, waits on deck. York already with a run on the board here in the opening inning. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch stays in too close. Tejeda bats 3-1 with Verona waiting on deck. Wind is blowing out toward left field tonight. That probably aids the Revs. 3-1. Ferguson to the plate, swing and a miss. Filling the count on Isaias Tejeda, 3-2. If the Barnstormers had been able to clinch by now and not be trailing and in dire need of a win, I don't think you'd see Ferguson out there tonight. But this is a must situation. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch is low. Tejeda flips the bat away, and it's 2 men aboard for Dyrone Verona. Verona 273 with 4 homers, 34 runs batted in. Silva at second, Tejeda, the man aboard at first. Ferguson needs to get this third out and quiet down the York Revolution and their fans here. Halton, Gindel, and Coronado slated to face Victor Mateo in the top of the second inning. Runners at first and second, 2 away. The pitch cut on and missed. Verona went out of the zone for it, and he's down a strike, 0-1. Dyrone Verona wasn't 100%, sat out last night. Verona bats 0-1. The pitch cut on and missed. The bat goes flying into the crowd over on the third base side. I think everybody's okay over there, but the staff will check. Verona batting 0-2. And I believe I was told the injury was to his hand, which makes sense after seeing that. No balls, 2 strikes here. One thing you know about Brad Bergeson, he's a very mild-mannered guy off the field, but he's a fierce competitor. He's giving it everything he has out there tonight. 0-2, the count on Verona. Right-handed batter from Cuba, as is the man at second base, Ruby Silva. Also a Cuban. Outside and low, ball 1 and 2 strikes. Barnstormers have had a couple of Cuban-born players over the years, the most memorable being Yoslan Herrera, not just Cuban-born, but Cuban-raised. 1-2. And Verona pulled out the left field. Amaral going back. He'll leap up, not be able to make the play. It's over his head. Here comes Silva to score. Tejeda will be held at third. It's an RBI double for Verona and a 2-0 lead for the York Revolution here in the opening inning, with Travis Witherspoon stepping in. Barnstormers are not in great shape here tonight. They can obviously come back from down 2. They've had to do it quite often this year. We're going to have a mound visit from Scott Patterson. He will check in on how Brad Bergeson is feeling. 3 solid hits and 2 flyouts to the warning track. Around a walk in this first inning. Bergeson needs to get Witherspoon to keep the Barnstormers right in this ball game. Witherspoon, 274 with 8 home runs and 47 knocked in. Tommy Shirley goes tomorrow in the season finale against 14-game winner Frank Gailey. But Gailey may go short if York wins tonight, if he's not scratched altogether. Inside and low for ball 1-0. Up the line from third, Tejeda. Off a second, Verona. Ball 2 is outside, 2-0. First base is open. Ferguson to Witherspoon. Swung on and missed. 2 balls and a strike. This is already a 25-pitch first inning for Brad. Complicating matters for Ross Peoples and Scott Patterson tonight with Bergeson's situation was the loss earlier this week of John Kutchno. Fly ball out the right field. Chasing it down is Gindel. And that will be the final out here in the first inning. But 2 runs do score for York on 3 hits with no errors. 2 men left in scoring position. Well, the Barnstormers survive the inning. We'll go to the second. It is York 2 and Lancaster nothing.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Not only does the Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City, they have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, open by 11:30 every day of the week.
Well, the Barnstormers all year long have been a very good come-from-behind team. They're great when they score first, but they are pretty good when they don't, as far as teams go. When they score first, they're 53-14. When they don't, they're 22-49. A .310 winning percentage when you give up the first run is actually pretty good. So here is Sean Halton trying to lead the charge back. He'll start off the second against Mateo. The motion and the pitch. Sean looks at ball one low. 264 for Halton, 24 home runs, and 88 runs batted in. York with the two-run jump here tonight. The windup and a Halton ground ball down the third base line. Good backhanded pick on a tough hop by Simpson. He'll throw out Halton one away. That was not an easy play to start with. And then the ball took a really funky hop on Simpson, and he was able to react to it, bring the glove up, and cut down Halton one away. Caleb Gindel stepping in. 279 for Caleb with 10 home runs and 54 batted in. Nate Coronado, the shortstop, waits on deck, coming off a big game last night. I love the way Nate always, when he's in the on-deck circle, takes his first practice cut left-handed. He's not a left-handed batter. He's a right-handed hitter all the way. Just to get loosened up with that cylindrical weight on the end of the bat. 1-0. And a Gindel breaking ball to the inside corner for a called strike. It is 1-1. The kick, the pitch, Gindel with a big swing and a miss. Mateo has him at 1-2, and this looks more like the Victor Mateo the Barnstormers faced back in early June. Lancaster won the first game of this season series 8-0. And then York took control of it, swinging a foul ball back. Gindel still alive at 1-2. And Lancaster still has not squared up one baseball against Mateo. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gindel. The right-hander is ready to go. Here's the pitch. Caleb with a chopper right side, easily managed by Silva. A very short throw. 2 up and 2 down here in the second inning. Shortstop Nate Coronado stepping in. Coronado has been brilliant offensively. .333 with 6 home runs, 37 runs batted in. A .408 hitter on the road. Has the tools defensively. I think he needs some work in that area, become a little bit more consistent on defense, read ground balls a little bit better. That'll come with time, and I think some work during the offseason. Ball 1 is outside. But I would be shocked if Nate Coronado is not a Barnstormer next year or signed by a major league organization. 1-0. High fly ball, center field here, but playable. Back on it goes Witherspoon. He'll dance to about 2-3 steps in front of the track. 6 up and 6 down so far for Victor Mateo tonight. Nothing across in the top of the second for the Barnstormers at the end of 1.5. York leading 2-0.
Enjoy great ballpark food at discount prices. The Lancaster Barnstormers offer numerous chances to enjoy your favorite ballpark foods this summer. On Sundays, Burke's hot dogs are only $1 all game long. Hess's Barbecue brings back the all-you-can-eat pig roast on Mondays and all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are also Fill Your Tummy nights at the stadium, where for only $10, you can stuff yourselves with popcorn, hot dogs, fries, nachos, and soda. Upstairs, we have Pat's Pizza and Pinball Mondays and Fat Pig's Wing Wednesdays, where you can pair food and beer with a Barnstormers game. Barnstormers baseball, make a night of it.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Bottom of the second inning, Ryan Dent, Chase Simpson, and Alonzo Harris will be facing the right-hander for the Barnstormers, Brad Bergeson, here tonight. Bergeson yielded 3 hits and a couple of runs in the opening inning. The Barnstormers down by a pair. Nothing yet underway against Mateo. Barnstormers will work on figuring it out. Cleveland Indians won today, trying to start another winning streak, but there's not enough time left in the year to get to 22 again. 8-4, the Indians won over Kansas City today. Royals won 4-3 last night. Ferguson's first pitch to Dent, a called strike onto the inside corner. It's 0-1. That looked to be the cutter, which has done the job for Bergeson for the bulk of the season. Ball for a second strike. It's 0-2. Brad comes back, and that's line to center in for a leadoff base hit. Dent is aboard, opening up the second inning. 4 hits now for the Revolution tonight. Switch hitting third baseman Chase Simpson coming in. Simpson at 195, 4 homers, 17 runs batted in. We'll see if the bunt is employed here. Noel Polanco runs through all the signs over at third. Infield set up, double play depth. There wasn't a ground ball to be found in that opening inning. Ferguson to the plate and a first pitch strike to Simpson, 0-1. But last night we talked about this at length. The last ground ball out recorded by the Barnstormers now in this series was in the second inning last night. For the final out, Travis Witherspoon grounded to short. The last 21 outs for Joe Gardner in the bullpen were either strikeouts or fly balls. Tonight, all the outs have come in the air. No balls, 1 strike to Simpson. The pitch down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll see how quickly Ross Peoples gets somebody throwing in the bullpen. And again, if John Kuchno were healthy, he would be the guy, but he is shut down for the rest of the year with the strained oblique muscle. Well, second strike, it's 1-2. He came out after 3 pitches. And the ball game back on Tuesday. So if you're going to go to the bullpen, it would have to be R.J. Hively, I would think. And pick up maybe 3 innings for you. 1-2 to Simpson, swung on and missed. Brad Bergeson records his first strikeout of the night, 1 out here. And back around to Alonzo Harris, who conked a double to the gap in left center field, leading off the ball game for the Revs. Josh Bell talked about momentum within a baseball game on the Dugout Report tonight. The Barnstormers need to find a momentum changer. Right now, Old Mo belongs to the York Revolution. 1 out, 1 on here. Ferguson goes to work on Harris, and that is taken up the middle for a base hit. First and second now with 1 away. Harris is 2 for 2, showing why he is the MVP of this ball club and a viable candidate for MVP of the league.
All right, Revolution fans, let me hear you make some noise out there. Now batting in right fielder, number 10,
Jared Mitchell stepping in. He flied out into the left field corner. It was still fair. Emerald was out of my view when he caught it. That was at least a ground ball, but it was sharply hit up the middle. It's 25 outs in a row now for York that have not involved the ball hit on the ground. Dennett second. Harris aboard at first base. One out here. Mitchell shows bunt and then takes a strike over at the knees. It is 0-1. Lancaster trailing by 2 in the bottom of the second inning. York trying to break it open. Ferguson trying to find a way to get outs. Here's the offering. Looped out to left center field, in for base hit. Sanford will pick it up. Here comes Dent. He is going to score. The throw will be cut off, and it is 3-0 in favor of York. Jared Mitchell with an RBI base hit. The Barnstormers trail by 3. Ruby Silva will step to the plate. Silva with a base hit into right field back in the first inning. And Tyler Clark is headed down to the bullpen. Just taking Ferguson back toward the middle. 3 out of 4 batters this inning have been able to accomplish it. It's going to be Kevin Munson who will begin to throw. He is stretched out too. He has had a 3-inning relief appearance. It looks like it's Munson grabbing his stuff anyway. Swinging a foul away by Silva. No balls and a strike. York arguably trying to put this game away here in the second inning. Brad Ferguson has thrown 136 innings this year, coming back off a series of injuries. He's done a great job for this Barnstormers ball club, but I think his arms just run out of steam here the last few weeks. Again, he hasn't won in any of his last 6 starts after reeling off 5 in a row. And that just ties in to the timing of the makeup game against Southern Maryland. He still had it when that game was originally going to be played back in July 14th. Ferguson wasn't as sharp. It was evident. Foul ball back, 0-2. He was on some kind of a roll through July. One of the best pitchers in this league. He wasn't walking anybody. He was getting us through 5 or 6 innings, almost start after start after start without giving up a run. And that is taken into center field. Another base hit. Here comes Harris. He will score. There is a play on the next runner. Mitchell will be tagged out by Sean Holton in a rundown. Up the second goes Silva, but it is now 4-0. Josh Bell did a nice job cutting the ball off, so they pick up the second out on Mitchell. York with the 4-run lead. Calvin Nash stepping in. Silva's at second with 2 outs. Very good read by Josh Bell. There was no play at the plate on Alonzo Harris. Bell, a nice job cutting that throw. And they had Mitchell around second base. He had nowhere to go. 2 outs. The batter is Nash. 7 hits already tonight for the York Revolution. That's line past Halton and rolling all the way to the left field wall. Here comes Silva. He'll score. Nash chugging for second. Throw in, and he slides around the Zawatsky tag. The ball hopped up a little bit. Zawatsky, I think, had a little bit of trouble handling it. Silva scores on the Nash double. 8 hits off of Brad Ferguson and a 5-0 York Revolution lead. Scott Patterson with his second mound visit. It is Kevin Munson warming up in the Barnstormers bullpen. Ferguson has done such a nice job for this ball club. And he's a guy you just want to have his hands on the baseball in a big game. but the arm just does not have much left. Would I take Brad Bergeson back next year in a Barnstormers uniform if he wanted to make a return? Absolutely. Because I think he'd be able to go a little bit longer. The Barnstormers have definitely had some difficulties with starting pitching this year. It's been evident. Every guy capable of great stuff. We saw it out of Rami and Joe Gardner the last couple of games. Terrific starts to keep the Barnstormers in this race. But they haven't had that 3.5 ERA, steady 7 innings per start, 12-14 game winner. It's been the one lack on this ball club. Now a ball outside to Isaias Tejeda. It is 1-0. Nash, the runner at second base, 2 outs in the inning. Base running Gaff costing York a run here. Ground ball left side. Coronado with that. He will fire across the diamond, and it's an actual ground ball out. The first in 9 innings. But prior to that, 3-run score on a total of 5 base hits. No errors. There was 1 man left on base. At the end of 2, it is the York Revolution 5 and the Lancaster Barnstormers nothing. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Well, the Barnstormers have definitely challenged themselves here tonight as we go into the 3rd inning, trailing by 5. Steve Clevenger, Josh Bell, and Lance Zawatsky stepping in to face Victor Mateo. Not only are the Barnstormers down 5-0, they have been out hit 8-0. Clevenger, a couple of hits last night, 291 on the year, 3 home runs, and 16 driven in. The line by Mateo. First pitch was a strike to the inside corner, 0-1. We'll see what the Barnstormers might be able to do to flip the momentum. 0-1 into the dirt. Clevenger at a ball and a strikeout. I have to think Kevin Munson's coming into this game for the 3rd inning. I don't think the Barnstormers have a choice. You hate to do it. Breaking ball is outside, 2-1. But I think Clevenger takes the 2-1, drops 7 down against Mateo, and Josh Bell will come to the plate. Backing up the tiring arm of Brad Bergeson, the complication, again, was the injury to John Kuchno earlier in the week. He would have been the alternative to go to tonight, especially early if there were signs of trouble with Bergeson, as there have been. First strike to Bell, it is 0-1. Next offering, swing and a miss. Mateo has the Barnstormers just tied up in knots. 7 in a row retired. 0-2. The count to Bell. Here's the motion. And JB pulls it down the first baseline. Fair ball. That is headed toward the corner. Bell around first. He will race towards second. The throw in from Mitchell is well behind his arrival. Josh Bell has the Barnstormers started with a double. Go figure. Lancaster scores 11 runs last night, and Bell goes 0 for 5. Tonight, he becomes their first base runner with a double past the first baseman Nash and down into the right field corner. Lance Sawatsky will try and pick him up and get the Barnstormers on the scoreboard. Sawatsky was 2 for 4 with a run batted in on a sac fly last night. 223 overall. He has 5 home runs, and he has knocked in 22. Batting 192 currently as a Barnstormer. Here's the motion and the pitch high from Mateo. Ball 1, no strikes on Sawatsky. Mateo having to pitch out of the stretch for the first time. Maybe that will cause an ill effect. Lancaster looking to get on the scoreboard. Bell leads from second. Here is the 1-0. Mateo to Sawatsky. Foul to the screen. Ball 1, strike 1. Bell off second. Mateo focusing on the matter at hand at the plate. Ball 2 is outside on Sawatsky. 2-1. Darian Sanford, the center fielder for the Barnstormers, waits on deck. Boy, what excitement he's created this year. 2-1. Sawatsky swings away and loops a fly ball out the short left. On comes Harris to make the catch for out number 2. Darian Sanford coming in. Sanford popped up back in the first inning. 5-0 in favor of the York Revolution. They have a substantial jump here tonight. Barnstormers, knowing this ball club, will somehow fight it to the death. Mateo goes to work on Sanford. Darian pulls it down the first base line, but his goes foul past the bag. 0-1. That would have been fun to watch. No, balls, 1 strike. Sanford drives left field. Scheduled to bat next. Two strikes on Darian. Bell with the lead from second base. Mateo to the set, and to Sanford, his feet driven out from under him. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Lancaster needs an explosion. They scored 6 in the first inning last night. 3 walks helped out. Started off shaky. You fell behind Sanford 3-0 and Amaral 2-0, the first 2 batters of the game. No sign of any control issues since then until that pitch. Ball 2, high and outside, 2-2. Bell inching off second base once more. Mateo to Sanford, 2-2, driven toward the alley, left center field. That's in for a base hit. The Barnstormers are on the board, and then the ball gets between Harris and Witherspoon. Sanford will end up at second. Bell comes across. Darian Sanford driving in his 26th run. The Barnstormers on the board. It is 5-1. It's an RBI for Sanford. We'll see. I think it's going to be a double all the way. It was going to be tough to cut that ball off. Sanford, with his speed, probably arrives at second anyhow. Bo Amaral looks now to pick up a second run. Bell and Sanford combining to get Lancaster on the scoreboard. slicing into the York lead. Sanford has been tremendous with runners in scoring position. That's when he drives the ball to the outfield. First pitch to Bo is below the knees. Ball one, no strikes. Darian, 23 for 59 in the RBI situations. Batting .390. To Amaral, 1-0 pitch. That angle's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Cole Garner, the designated hitter, waits on deck. And suddenly, the game becomes intriguing. Well, now they're putting an error up on the board for York and didn't give the Barnstormers a base hit. There's definitely a cross-up in the signals out there. Sanford with a clean hit and an RBI, but apparently single and perhaps E7. We'll check in on it here. 2-0. Ground ball down the first base line again, but Amaral's is foul. 2-1. Bridgeport, by the way, 3-1, and Long Island has scored in the first inning at Sugar Land. If either one of those holds up, and if this holds up, everything's over. Everything will be decided. Two and one. Amaral looking at a second strike. It is 2-2. Well, it is a single and an E7. Sanford still getting the RBI. He's at second base, 2-2 on Bo Amaral. Looking to push across the second run. Here's the pitch from Mateo. Looped out the left, down the line, and it is fair. Darian Sanford will head home. And Amaral pulls up at first with an RBI single, make it 5-2 with Cole Garner stepping in. Back-to-back RBI singles here in the third inning. Lancaster has and made it a ball game tonight. Paul Fletcher out to visit Victor Mateo. They don't want to make a mistake to Garner here. Cole grounded out back in the first inning. The Barnstormers begin to get to Victor Mateo, and they are right back in this ball game. Zawadzki tried to go to left, but just lobbed the fly ball out to Harris. Sanford and Amaral have both managed. They get balls down for singles. Cole Garner stepping in, 0 for 1 on that ground out back in the first inning. 23 doubles, a triple, and 8 home runs for Garner. Remember, he didn't come in until July 14th. Swing and a miss against Mateo here on a high fastball. It is 0-1. The lone runner is Amaral. He's at first base. Garner batting with Halton on deck. Mateo to the plate. The ball is low, and it skips away from Tejeda. On the second goes Amaral. That should be a wild pitch. It is. Garner with a base hit. Could make it 5-3. Barnstormers will have to bridge 7 innings tonight out of the bullpen. Race the way it looks. I don't think Bergeson will continue. Garner fouls one back into the twines. 1 ball and 2 strikes against Mateo. We talked about Sanford, 390 with runners in scoring position. Bo Amaral is at 391. They get the job done here. 1-2. Mateo to Garner, and Cole can't hold on the swing. The pitch is in the dirt, so the throw's got to go to first base. Cole Garner out 2-3. That will end the inning, but Lancaster is on the board. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. They leave a man. We'll go to the bottom half of the third inning. York is up by a score of 5-2.
Celebrate the National Hall of Fame and Museum. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
And be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
The Lancaster Barnstormers tonight, we're hoping to get a handful of innings out of Brad Bergeson without much happening, but he just didn't have quite enough left to get through. He gives up 8 hits, 5 runs in 2 innings. That arm has been bothering him for a while. This is no knock against Brad Bergeson out there tonight. The Barnstormers really, I think, found themselves with no other choice but to try and get Brad through. So he'll come out. Kevin Munson takes over here in the third. The Barnstormers have made it a lot more interesting with the 2 runs on the board in the top of the third inning. Tyrone Verona, Travis Witherspoon, and Ryan Dent stepping in. Munson, one of the 7 that have been in this bullpen the entire season. He is 2-3 with 1 save and a 3.56 ERA. He is in his 59th ball game. He's thrown 55 2/3 innings and struck out 72 batters. First pitch is lined past Sawatsky and out into right center field, a base hit. So the parade of hits for the York Revolution continues tonight. Verona singling into right center. Leadoff man is on board, and Travis Witherspoon will step in. Witherspoon fly to right back in the first inning. 9 hits already for York. They are 9 for 14 at the plate tonight after picking up merely 5 hits a night ago. Witherspoon stepping in. Infield set up, double play depth. Munson is a big strikeout guy. Witherspoon shortens the bunt and takes a strike on a fastball. It is 0-1. Munson rarely has given up a base hit to the first batter he has faced. Only the 9th time all year it's happened, let alone the first pitch. 0-1, Witherspoon with a ball slapped past first base and foul. Make it 0-2. Munson trying to work out of the third inning. I had figured that tonight might very well be a higher scoring ball game, and we're seeing it. The Barnstormers will have to continue mounting an attack. Sanford and Amaral coming up big with the RBI hits. 2 outs in the top of this inning. 0-2 on Travis Witherspoon. Munson comes back, and his fastball is high. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Shortstop Ryan Dent waits on deck. The Community Cup, the trophy for the War of the Roses, also at stake here tonight. York will win that with a victory as well. 1-2 to Witherspoon, inside off of the glove of Steve Clevenger. They got crossed up. Verona will round second. And I got to think that's a pass ball. It is. But it breaks up the double play, moves a man into scoring position. Travis Witherspoon stands in with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thrown off second. Here's the breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Slider came back toward the inside corner. Witherspoon asks whether it would have been a called strike or not. I think it would have been. He took a very late cut at it. He recognized it a bit behind schedule. Big strikeout for Munson. He can get them. Ryan Dent steps in, 1 for 1, a base hit, leading off the 3-run second inning. Then the switch hitting third baseman Chase Simpson. Munson facing a mild jam here in the third inning. The strikeout of Witherspoon helps. They can no longer score on outs. To Dent. Back to the inside corner for a called strike. It is 0-1. Kevin glancing back at Verona. Spins to bluff him back towards second base. Nobody had headed over to cover. But Zawadski isn't all that far away. See if Verona tries to get that size of lead again. 0-1 to count the Dent. Verona is 3 for 8 stealing bases. The delivery lined up the middle. Base hit into center field. Here comes Verona. And it is going to be 6-2. The throw will come home, but it's late. Ryan Dent singles in a run. So Kevin Munson has given up 2 base hits and the run. Chase Simpson to the plate. He struck out his first time up. Right now, the run is unearned. So 6-2 in favor of York. Bottom half of the third inning. Simpson snapping in. That ball slowed down as it crossed second base. It really wasn't hit all that well by Dent, just hit effectively up the middle. Now Simpson with a looper down the left field side. That's into the seats. 0-1 on Chase Simpson. York has scored in every inning in tonight's ball game. The Revs up 6-2 here in the bottom of the third inning. York very well last night, but York is a ball club. Once this offense gets going, it tends not to stop. 0-1, and to Simpson. That ball is mauled down the right field line, but hooking foul. Chase Simpson with home run distance, but he hooked it to the right of the pole. Down 2 strikes against Kevin. Munson has been pitching very effectively for this Barnstormers ball club. He's only given up 2 earned runs in his last 16 2/3 innings coming into tonight. 0-2 pitch, got him swinging. Well, there's a big second strikeout for Munson. A lot of his outs do come on strikes. Back around to the top of the order, and Alonzo Harris is already 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. The pass ball charged to Clevenger. He and Munson definitely got crossed up on the pitch to Witherspoon. Ground ball rolled to the shortstop here. Coronado will feed Zawadski. That ends the inning. And the run will be unearned. After that 6-4 force out, 1 run on 2 hits, the pass ball, no errors, and a runner left on base. We will go to the 4th inning. York is up by a score of 6-2.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA. The Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
Hey, the other night I passed along all my thank yous, but I left out two very important groups, the sponsors and the fans. It'd be terrible being part of Barnstormers baseball if the seats were empty and there were no outfield signs and you didn't have ads on our internet broadcast, and man, that would be such an empty, hollow feeling. So you guys are great. Awesome, in fact. We go to the top of the fourth inning. York leading 6-2. 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 4 left for the Revolution. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the Barnstormers have left 1. Sean Halton leads off the fourth inning. Halton grounded out 5-3 on a nice backhanded stop by Simpson in the second inning. The Barnstormers need to just mount another attack here, keep coming back, keep putting pressure on the York Revolution, and look for somebody to have a shutdown appearance out of the bullpen. Here's the pitch to Halton. That will stay inside. Ball 1, no strikes. Mateo retired the first 7 batters he faced, but ended up allowing the 3 hits and 2 runs last inning. Sean Halton up there at 1-0. Victor Mateo is ready. And Deshaun, ball 2, stays inside. Caleb Gindel and Nate Coronado will follow. Two balls, no strikes. Halton looks at ball 3. That's skipping past Tejeda all the way to the backstop. And I would imagine down by 4 runs here, the Barnstormers will keep Halton in check, but you never know. This is such an aggressive ball club. 3 balls, no strikes. Motion, and the delivery is ball 4 way upstairs. And the Barnstormers will very gladly take a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning. They're down by 4 runs. You want to see a big inning put together. Caleb Gindel will step in. Gindel grounded out to the second baseman, Silva. Back in the second inning. Ground ball over toward the hole. Very short throw. Infield now for the Revolution. Will set up at double play depth. 4 out of the last 6 Barnstormers batters have reached base. 2 runs on the scoreboard. The set. And Gindel tries to drop a bunt down, but he got jammed by the pitch and fouled it off. 0-1. He was hoping to catch Simpson back. But even if Caleb had gotten that down in fair territory, he would have had an absolutely atrocious start out of the box. So it's probably for the best that it went foul. 0-1 to Gindel. Halton leads off first. To Caleb now, swinging a foul ball straight back over my head. Mateo up 0-2. Halton picking up his 50th walk of the year. Playing in his 104th consecutive game. To Gindel, 0-2, that's down. Tejeda ended up on his backside to flag it. Now that very deep squat he gets into. Tejeda is by no means a small guy. 1-2, Gindel looks at ball 2. He's trying to work the count against Mateo. Coronado is the man on deck. And the Revs know the Barnstormers are not out of this game. These are the two most high-octane offenses in the Atlantic League. And the Barnstormers have pulled off a couple of great comebacks in this ballpark this year. And vice versa. 2-2, Gendel pops this up. On the left side, Simpson, the third baseman, drifts back, sets up underneath on the outfield grass along the line and makes the catch. Nate Coronado will step in. Coronado flied out to fairly deep center field, closing out the second inning.
Now batting your runners, King Anthony, shortstop number 12, Nate Coronado.
One out, one on, and there is action in the York bullpen. Somewhat surprised at that, but they've got Grant Sides warming up. Native of the Tuscaloosa, Alabama area. They just picked him up. Line drive to left center field, a base hit for Coronado. Why, he just doesn't get shut down on the road. Now, the Barnstormers have runners at first and second with one out. Coronado has hit safely in all but 3 games away from Clipper Magazine Stadium. Steve Clevenger batting with runners at first and second, one out. The Barnstormers have to take advantage of the opportunity. Bell on deck. Clevenger fly to center his first trip. The pitch here, ground ball past the diving Nash. A base hit into right field. Racing for home is Halton, racing for third. Coronado, he's in there. Clevenger, an RBI single. And Josh Bell will step in as the possible tying run. Steve Clevenger has gotten somewhat hot down the stretch. $13 out of his last 40 and driving in some runs. Josh Bell to the plate. He's got Coronado at third, Clevenger at first. Bell doubled inside the first base bag back in the third inning. Lancaster pulls back to within 3. They'll make it even more interesting if they can get Coronado across from third base. Mateo comes set, and to Bell, ground ball, slowly hit. Up with it is Silva. They'll get the out at second. The throw back to first, good stretch, and in time for a double play. Bell grounds into it, 4-6-3, and a double play taking the Barnstormers out of yet another inning. 1 run does score on 2 hits with no errors and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is York 6 and Lancaster 3.
Hey, Jane, check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with 9 in a line, you could win Progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg is your hometown appliance store with hometown values. We always give back to our community, and this year we are proud to be a sponsor of the East Petersburg Amphitheater Project. Stop in and purchase from us and keep your money here, helping others in your community. We are back again this season with a $25,000 giveaway at the stadium, and you can stop in and register for a Barnstormers game jersey. We want to be your appliance store and give back to all of you. Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg.
This race in the second half is swung back and forth. Just remember, after play a week ago last night, the Barnstormers had taken a half-game lead over the Revolution after they had fallen a bit behind. And York came out, won 6 in a row. The Barnstormers were almost dead and buried. before pulling off that nice rally against Long Island on Thursday. That kept them alive, but they had to come in here and sweep. That was a certainty after Wednesday's play. They pulled it off last night, 11-1, but there's a lot of work still to do for the Barnstormers tonight. The first part of the equation is a scoreless inning with York at the plate. There hasn't been one yet. 10 hits for the Revolution in the game, including 3 doubles, 7 singles. Jared Mitchell has an RBI base hit. He is 1 for 2. Kevin Munson working and delivering a strike. It is 0-1. 2 singles off Munson and an unearned run last inning. He struck out 2. He'll try to pick up at least 2 full innings, if not 3 tonight. Mitchell taking a pitch low. Now 1-1. Zawadzki, Sanford, and Amaral will be scheduled in the Barnstormers half of the 5th. One ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Munson got that past the left-handed batter. Now 1-2. Ruby Silva and Telvin Nash following in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Beaten foul. Nice play in the on-deck circle by Silva. Count continues at 1-2. Silva's listed at 5'11", 180. Seems far more slender than that when you look at him in the batter's box. They must be pretty well put together. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mitchell. Munson tries to snap the slider to the inside corner, doesn't reach it. It is 2-2. The wind goes for it again and misses. Mitchell bats at 3-2. Somerset 4, Bridgeport 1. That's in the bottom of the 4th. Long Island and Sugar Land tied 1-1, bottom 2. If Somerset beats Bridgeport, then that race is over. Long Island will be the winners in the second half in the Liberty Division. And they'll take on Somerset in the playoffs. It's almost an annual event. You can rely on that like you can rely on the onset of winter. 3-2. And the payoff, Mitchell pops this up. I don't think it's going to stay in play. Halton coming over toward his own dugout. Sean reaches up. He's got it right at the dugout railing. Mitchell fouls out. 1 gone. Ruby Silva to come to the plate. Silva accomplished nothing last night. Tonight he is 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in.
Now batting for the Revolution, your second baseman, number 6, Ruby Silva.
He has singled through the right side, and he has singled up the middle. 1 out. Munson will go to work. The pitch popped up, and this will clearly get out of play. It is 0-1. It's rare those tweeners, it seems, stay in play against the Barnstormers. Kevin Munson comes back. Chopper to the second baseman. Zawadzki will handle a chest-high bounce, flip the first. 2 up and 2 down for Munson here in the 4th inning. Telvin Nash to the plate. He has flied out to the warning track and left and doubled past Sean Halton and down the left field line. He actually doubled, not right down the stripe, but to Halton's glove side. The ball was hit so hard past Sean that Amaral couldn't race over and cut it off. There aren't too many that hit the ball harder than Telvin Nash does. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Munson has retired 4 straight. And the pitch to Nash trickled foul up the third base side. It's 0-1. Munson working to keep the Barnstormers in the game. Down by 3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, but the offense is alive. A 1 pitch. Nash couldn't hold on the slider that was down and away. 2 strikes to him. Telvin Nash was tossed from the game after striking out looking to close out the 8th last night. 0-2. Munson comes back, snaps off the slider, and that was not called strike 3. And Munson looked to be of the opinion that he could have gotten it. Ball 1, 2 strikes. A foul out and a ground out this inning. Here's a 1-2 on Nash. Slider again popped up behind first base. Into foul territory is Bell, camped underneath. Pretty easy inning for Kevin Munson. The Revs go down in order. In the bottom half of the 4th inning, Munson keeping the Barnstormers in it. We'll go to the 5th. York 6 and Lancaster 3.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 306 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers baseball. Make a night of it.
Lance Zalotsky leading off the 5th for the Barnstormers. Zalotsky, over the last 11 games, has scored 8 times and driven in 5. So involved in more than a run a game in that span. Flied out the left field, back in the 3rd inning of this one. 0 for 1 against Mateo. The first pitch here, taken for a strike across the letters. It is 0-1. Barnstormers looking to strike back in this game. They still trail by 3. The double play last inning hurt. Zalotsky now with a ground ball toward the middle. Over on it goes Silva. He'll spin. He'll bounce the throw, but it won't be in time. Wonderful effort by Ruby Silva up the middle on a slowly hit ground ball over the mound and over second base. Zalotsky beats it out. He's on with the leadoff base hit, the infield single here in the 5th inning. Darian Sanford coming to the plate. Sanford singled in the Barnstormers' first run of the night. Lancaster needs, I think, to build a decent inning. Not just a run-scoring inning. That'd be nice, but 2 or 3 here. Zalotsky out to the lead. Sanford shows bunt and takes a strike. It is 0-1. You never know quite what to expect out of Darian Sanford. He's strong and hence getting thrown out last night. Popped up foul out of play. It's 0-2. Energy to spare. And absolutely, positively exciting to watch when he's on your side. 0-2 to him. Zalotsky leading off first. Amaral's on deck. Darian swings, pulls a ground ball on the right side. Silva will glove it and get the force out on Zawadzki at second. Safe at first on the fielder's choice is Sanford. I've been very impressed with Ruby Silva defensively in the ball game tonight. Mark Mason knew exactly what he was looking for to replace Alexi Casilla. He got Alexi Casilla with more power in a pure left-handed manner. The hitter is Amaral. Bo is 1 for 2 tonight. RBI single to left back in the third inning. Sanford, the runner at first base. He may take off here. 41 steals. If he gets another one, he'll tie Travis Hake for the second most productive stolen base season in club history. Swinging a foul tip by Bo on a breaking ball low. It is 0-1. Barnstormers have managed 6 hits and 3 runs off Mateo so far. Got the leadoff hitter on last inning and scored him. They're trying to do it again here in the 5th. Oh and 1. And Amaral, a ball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Barnstormers have another late inning rally in them. They've been doing it all year. When you think this team is done for and gone, they pull something off. And they actually started to do it in that loss to Southern Maryland. Pickoff throw to first, and Sanford barely escapes. He was clearly leaning the other way. But Mateo, by the time he got the throw over there, I don't think it was his best move. He allowed Sanford to get back in. 1 ball and 1 strike to Amaral. Victor Mateo working out of the stretch, and he goes to first base again. Sanford back in with greater ease. Amaral trying to get on base ahead of the Boppers. R.J. Hively now warming up in the Barnstormers bullpen. Munson through 2 pretty strong innings. Sanford again out to a lead. Mateo with a ball and a strike. Sanford false start, but the pitch gets away from Tejeda, and that will get Sanford to second. Pass ball. Charge to Isaias Tejeda. And the Barnstormers get a runner into scoring position. Up to Amaral to drive in Sanford for a second time in a row. Two balls, 1 strike. 2 chances to get the deficit down to 2. To Amaral, ball 3 missing. It is 3-1. Grant Sides, from what I understand, is again warming up in the bullpen for the York Revolution. Sides acquired from the Kansas City T-Bones of the American Association. And he's pitched pretty well here in York. So much of these races can come down to what you acquire at the end of the year. And the playoffs can too. Ball 4 is outside. Amaral heads to first. Cole Garner has been controlled so far tonight by Mateo. But he will step in as the possible tying run. Sanford at second. Amaral at first. Garner will step in. He is the only strikeout victim for Mateo so far. He's also grounded out softly to second base. But anytime Cole Garner steps into the batter's box, he's dangerous. 6-3 ball game. York leading, top of the 5th inning. Barnstormers putting a little bit of a scare into the Revs and their fans. And again, they need to produce here. Mateo comes to the set. The runners go. The pitch is low. The throw by Tejeda is into left field. Here comes Darian Sanford. And that throw then gets behind Alonzo Harris. And up the third goes Amaral. A double steal and potentially 2 errors. Yep, that's what they're going to call. Sanford steals third. Amaral steals second. Sanford scores on the E2. Amaral gets the third on the E7. And it's now 6-4 with a runner at third and only one out. Garner awaits the pitch. Cole swings and misses. I believe that makes it a ball and a strike. 6-4 ball game. Sanford ties Travis Hake for second. 42 stolen bases. Of course, he's done it in less than half a season. Imagine where he would be had he been here all year. 1-1. Garner swings away and drives the ball to deep center. Witherspoon will go back. Still going back. He's got it. Amaral can just about crawl home. He'll jog across the plate on the sacrifice fly. So it is now a 6-5 ball game. Lancaster back within one. And here is Sean Holt.
The third baseman, number 19.
An infield single, a walk, a double steal, 2 errors, and a sacrifice fly. Interesting way to build a 2-run inning. Barnstormers are within one here. And sure, York is getting a little nervous. Halton has grounded out, walked, and scored. The pitch to Sean, high to left. Way back it goes. It is out of here. Tie ball game. Sean Halton with his 25th home run, his first in 4 weeks, and it's all even at 6. Can you believe it? The Barnstormers have done it again. The comeback kids strike once more. A towering home run over the arch nemesis. Lancaster has drawn into a tie here in the top half of the 5th inning. And here comes Mark Mason. That will be it for Victor Mateo. 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 3 here in the 5th inning. It is 6 apiece. Mateo will depart. All the runs will now be earned in this inning against him. On that home run by Halton, we're going to have the pitching change, and while we do, we'll take a break for these messages.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
So good to see Sean Halton give a ball like that a ride again. He hasn't done it in 4 weeks. That thing was a monster over the 37-foot wall in left field. A tremendous drive from Sean to tie the ball game. And we were given bad information on the reliever warming up the bullpen. It was Sides last inning. They switched. Joe Van Meter now into the ball game for the York Revolution. 4-2 with a 2.63 ERA. He has been very good. Allowed only 44 hits in 61 2/3 innings. 63 strikeouts, but he runs into a ball club that has up ahead of steam. Caleb Gindel will come to the plate. Gindel is 0 for 2 here tonight. Van Meter into the motion. Caleb takes a ball down low, 1-0. Mateo leaves after 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, with 2 walks and a strikeout. 1-0 pitch, breaks across the plate. Gindel faces Van Meter at 1-1. On deck is Here's the motion, 1-1. Caleb looks at ball 2 off the plate outside. Van Meter's had a terrific second half in York. They've used him to start once. That was against us. Ball 3 is outside and low. Caleb up there 3-1. I imagine if the Barnstormers can pull this out after trailing 5-0 through 2 innings. They're back even. Here's the 3-1 on Gindel. That is strike 2 across at the letters. And a full count. Tehran giving that one to Van Meter, barely in the zone. Payoff pitch. Due to Gindel. Here it is. Ground ball slowly hit off the end of the bat. The second baseman Silva is there. Quick throw to first base. And Gindel retired 4-3 on a pretty close play. He really hustled down the line. The Barnstormers tie things up. 3 runs in the inning on 2 hits, 2 errors. Nobody left on base. Bottom half of the 5th inning coming up. York and Lancaster knotted at 6.
And lastly, right in front of me, Lobar Incorporated. And if you turn your attention to the first base.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
R.J. Hively taking over for the bottom half of the 5th. Commendable job done by Kevin Munson tonight. 2 innings. 2 hits allowed, 1 unearned run. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 2. Hively will be facing Isaias Tejeda, Dyrone Verona, and Travis Witherspoon as York steps in the bottom of the 5th in a tie ball game. R.J. Hively has been magnificent in Lancaster. Overall, 6-0 with a 4.68 ERA. His earned run average at Clipper Magazine Stadium at 0.96. On the road, it's almost 8. He needs to pretend he's on his mound at home. Tejeda has walked and grounded a short. First pitch tonight from Hively is good for a strike. It is 0-1. Well, the Barnstormers, again, need a shutdown inning here and have the offense get back to work against Van Meter. Coronado, Clevenger, and Bell up in the Lancaster half of the 6th. Nothing in 1 to Tejeda. The pitch, swing and a miss. Hively ahead 0-2. The York Revolution will strike out quite a bit. And if you really get stuff going, they're a very, very free-swinging ball club. That was one of the 2 teams in the league to have struck out over 1,000 times this year. Down low for ball 1-2 on Tejeda. For them, it's over 1,100 as it is for New Britain. New Britain's fanned 1,145 times. York, 1,110. And next up, Long Island at 994. The 2 fewest, of course, as you might expect, Bridgeport and Somerset. And that's why they gave the Barnstormers fits. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Tejeda takes ball 2 low from Hively. With Verona waiting on deck. Silva, Verona, and Dent were all 2 for 2 their first 2 times up in this game. 10 hits for York. The Barnstormers own 7. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a Tejeda, swing and a miss. Hively starts off his night with a strikeout, and that might have been ball 3. Looked like Tejeda tried to elevate a pitch that was down low. 1 out. Verona will step in. He doubled to left field over Bo Amaral's head, driving in the second run of the first inning, and then led off the third inning with a base hit off of Kevin Munson, drilled up the middle. Lancaster pitching now has retired 6 batters in a row. We're 6 apiece in the bottom half of the 5th inning as Lancaster fights back from an early deficit one more time. Hively to the plate, skips it home. Ball 1 on Verona. Travis Witherspoon, the on-deck batter. The Barnstormers pitching needs to stay on a roll, and Lancaster will need to solve Van Meter, which is not easy to do. One ball, no strikes on Verona. Hively will come back, swing and a miss. RJ with a fastball off the outside corner. Verona a wicked cut after it. The count is 1-1. To run off the Somerset lead. It's now 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Long Island and Sugar Land remain tied at 1 in the 4th inning. Swing and a foul at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A wicked cut by Verona, and for the second time tonight, the bat comes out of his hand, but this time just straight back and no harm. 1-2. With Witherspoon waiting on deck. Hively ready to go. 1-2 pitch outside off the glove of Clevenger. It is 2-2. One out in the inning. RJ Hively back to work. Here's the wind. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying all the way out to NOL Polanco. Gone on strikes. And that bat has come out of his hands 3 times. 2 outs. Travis Witherspoon is 0 for 2. Take a look at the Major League scoreboard. We did mention that the Cleveland Indians ended their 1-game losing streak, winning 8-4 over Kansas City. 7th inning of play, Red Sox 3 and the Rays nothing. See if these are current updates. I'm not sure they are. I guess so. 2 outs. Hively goes to work on Witherspoon. Swing and a miss. RJ nasty out there tonight. 3-0 Red Sox over the Rays at the 7th inning stretch. The Chicago White Sox lead Detroit 8-4 in the bottom of the 5th inning in Motown. 6-1 Marlins over the Brewers, lower half of the 4th inning. Blue Jays 3, Twins nothing, top 5. Twins without a base hit yet. And a Witherspoon 0-1 pitch delivered low. Ball 1, strike 1. Mets 5, Braves nothing in the bottom of the 4th. They're in a rain delay in Philadelphia. 2-0 A's in the bottom of the 3rd. Astros earlier beat the Mariners 8-6. LA tripped up Washington 3-2. 1-1. Hively delivers ground ball toward the hole at short. This is going to be tough for Coronado. Sidearm throw. Good stretch by Bell. They got him. 8 Coronado. 1, 2, 3 go the Revs in the bottom half of the 5th, and now we are officially dead even with the score Lancaster 6 and York 6.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Not only does the Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City, they have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster. Open by every day of the week.
Snell Pens as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Barnstormers have already used the bullpen for 3 innings tonight, which brings into play how important the 11-1 win was last night, because the Barnstormers have all of what you would consider their top relievers available for this game. They would have to be anyway, but none of them used last night. Joe Gardner working 6 great innings. Now here is Nate Coronado leading off against Joe Van Meter as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Coronado is 1 for 2. We're in the midst of the first. Yankees bopped the Orioles 9-3. That has not been a good series for Baltimore. Cubs 4, Cardinals 1. That a final. Cincinnati 2 and Pittsburgh 1. Coronado with a swing and a foul off to the right, out of play. It is 0-1. Steve Clevenger on deck, then Josh Bell. The wind, the pitch. Coronado again, a foul off to the right. He trails 0-2. A lot of room in left center for Coronado. They expect them to go the other way against Van Meter. Here's the 0-2. Just chops it foul. He'll stay in with 2 strikes in the count. Van Meter rallied from a 3-1 count to retire Caleb Gindel on a ground out, closing out the top of the 5th. This just his 2nd batter tonight. I'm sure it's all hands on deck both ways, but York is alive with a loss. The Barnstormers are not. 0-2, Coronado loops it down the right field line. That will go foul. Nate coming close. Ball ends up in the York bullpen. Still 2 strikes on Nate Coronado. Barnstormers Ball Club once again putting up a fight. They have been unbelievable at it all season. Coronado working 0-2 against Joe Van Meter. Right-hander into the motion. And the pitch. Coronado ground ball left side. Past Dent, a base hit. Nate Coronado aboard, leading off here in the 6th inning. He's 2 for 3. Steve Clevenger to the plate. He has flied out and singled home a run. We'll see if Coronado is at some point here put in motion. He hasn't stolen a base in a while, but You want to stay out of the double play. Clevenger makes contact. That we do know about him. He's walked more than he has struck out. Coronado out to the lead. Van Meter to the plate. Clevenger looks at a strike. It is 0-1. Here's the set. Coronado does go. The pitch is inside. Tejeda's throw is high. Coronado with his 15th steal. Steve Clevenger batting with the go-ahead run in scoring position and nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. 3 stolen bases now for the Barnstormers. Sanford and Amaral combining on a double steal last inning. One ball, one strike on Clevenger, trying to at least get the ball on the right side here. Swinging a foul to the left instead. Van Meter working ahead at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Three shots at getting Coronado home and gaining the lead for the Barnstormers. 1-2 on Clevenger. Van Meter into his motion. The pitch foul down the left field line. Clevenger will stay in there at 1-2. More action in the bullpen for the Revolution. Lancaster's pen is quiet. Hively will work a 2nd inning. Time called. Van Meter step back off the rubber. One and two. Van Meter to the plate. There's the ground ball on the right side. He'll advance the runner. Silva with the lob throw to first. 4-3. Coronado up to third base with 1 out. Josh Bell stepping in. Clevenger can ground out the second almost at will. Want him to. He's done a decent job of avoiding it, certainly in this series. But when you need a ground out to second base, as was the case right there, he's as good as anybody at getting that ball on the ground on the right side and advancing the runner. Josh Bell steps in. He is double to right and grounded into a double play. The infield playing up, swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch. Bell is down 0-1. Lance Zawadski waiting on deck for the Barnstormers. A very important run carried by Nate Coronado over at third. Bell 6 for 12, driving in runners from third base with fewer than 2 outs. 1 fouled back, strike 2 to JB. Last night, the Barnstormers had 3 sacrifice flies. They already have 1 in this game. Through with that. Trying to get the ball past the infielders and give Lancaster a lead. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Upstairs for a ball, maybe a little bit outside as well. Ball 1, 2 strikes to Bell. All here in the top half of inning 6. 1-2. Bell gets a piece of it and trickles it foul up the first base side. We continue with the 1-2 count. Lancaster all about getting Nate Coronado home right now. Bell just looking to shorten up and get a ball past Simpson, Dent, Silva, and Nash. Easier said than done with the agility of these infielders. 1-2. Bell awaits, and again, Van Meter will step off. If Bell can't get it done, Lance Zawadski will get a shot, but he'll have to face an infield playing back, just needing 1 out. 1-2 offering. Bell swings and misses. Oh, Van Meter with only the second strikeout for York pitching in the game, but it's huge. Now it is up to Zawadski. Lance is 1 for 2. He started off the 3-run fifth inning with an infield base hit. Bell tonight is 0 for 2 with the runner at third base, less than 2 outs, now 6 out of 14. All up to Zawadski here in the 6th inning. Defense will play back to go for the out. Van Meter ready to go out of the full line. Zawadski takes the first pitch and hits it in the air to shallow center. On comes Witherspoon, and Van Meter pitches out of the trouble in the top of the 6th. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. Coronado left parked at third. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up in a 6-6 tie.
Enjoy great ballpark food at discount prices. The Lancaster Barnstormers offer numerous chances to enjoy your favorite ballpark foods this summer. On Sundays, Burke's hot dogs are only $1 all game long. Hess's Barbecue brings back the all-you-can-eat pig roast on Mondays and all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are also fill your tummy nights at the stadium, where for only $10, you can stuff yourselves with popcorn, hot dogs, fries, nachos, and soda. Upstairs, we have Pat's Pizza and Pinball Mondays and Fat Pigs Wing Wednesdays, where you can pair food and beer with a Barnstormers game. Barnstormers baseball, make a night of it.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Tied at 6, going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ryan Dent is 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. He leads off against R.J. Hively here. He was the last man to reach base on that run-scoring single back in the 3rd inning. Lancaster's relievers have retired 8 in a row. We're deadlocked at 6 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The possible go-ahead run at third base in the top of the inning. Now to Dent upstairs from Hively. Ball 1, no strikes. Chase Simpson, the switch-hitting third baseman, waits on deck. Here's a 1-0. Dent drives it to center in the air. Darian Sanford gliding back and a bit to his left. He is there for out number 1. Simpson will come to the plate. Top of the order due for the Barnstormers in the 7th. Sanford, Amaral, and Gardner. Both these ball clubs have some quality back-end relievers. So it'd be very interesting to see where the next run in this game comes. Simpson digging in, left-handed against Hively. The delivery, strike 1 call. Hively locating the inner part with his fastball. Oh, what a game. Considering the ramifications, basically it's a playoff game. A must-win game for the Barnstormers. York has wiggle room. It's as if they're up 2-1 in a best-of-5. Win and York advances. Fly ball the other way by Simpson will fade foul. He trails 0-2. The Barnstormers win, and they're just alive for tomorrow. And why not? This ball club has done it all year. They've had more lives than the proverbial cat. 0-2. Simpson with a foul ball driven back into the net. Still 2 strikes. Alonzo Harris, the left fielder, waits on deck. Who is going to come through with the big swing of the bat in this game? Lancaster now with Daniel Moscas warming up in the pen. Likely to face Jared Mitchell either this inning or the next. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for R.J. Hively. 2 outs. And here is Harris. He is 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. The Barnstormers bullpen has gotten 10 straight. Last 5 batters Munson faced, and the first 5 Hively has seen. Halton plays behind the bag and right on the line over at third. Bell is up to take away a bunt. Ball 1 is low, 1-0 on Harris. One ball and nothing. Hively comes back. Harris looks at the sweeping slider for a strike. It is 1-1. RJ's pitch, ground ball, third base, should be routine for Halton. Sean with a high throw, pulls Bell off, and the ball comes loose from JB's glove. Safe at first base is Alonzo Harris, and I believe Halton will be charged with an error there. He pulled Bell off the bag with the throw. It's the indication I'm getting. Now the go-ahead run is on at first base. Shaken up on the play, though, was Alonzo Harris. Mark Mason out to check in on him. The trainer, Chung Choi, already out there. That would be an enormous loss for the York Revolution. It's the second time we've seen it happen in 2 nights. A first baseman taking an errant throw, swinging the tag around, and the ball getting knocked loose. Harris appears to be okay. He'll stay in the game. Happened with Bo Amaral on a tag try for Telvin Nash last night in the 5th inning. And that led to a Barnstormers run. This has not, at least not as of yet, led to a run. Jared Mitchell is the scheduled batter. He'll get Moscas. R.J. Hively certainly does his job. 1 2/3 innings for R.J. Moscas will take over against the left-handed batter. And with the change, we're going to pause for these messages.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Daniel Moscas is summoned with the left-handed batting Jared Mitchell stepping in, and following him, the left-handed batting Ruby Silva. Alonzo Harris, the runner at first base with 2 outs. He has 30 steals. He's the first 20-30 guy in the Atlantic League, I am told, in 8 years. Moscas will have to keep an eye on him as well as work to Mitchell, who's 1 for 3 with a run batted in tonight. Daniel Moskos, like everybody else in that Barnstormers bullpen, kept very busy over the course of the year. For him, this is appearance number 58, 6-2 and a 2.92 earned run average. Kind of unfortunate the Barnstormers didn't get the out on Harris to save Moskos for the 7th inning. I think Harris almost has to go here. We'll see. Moskos and Clevenger will be put to the test. Harris out to the lead. He's going to go. Moskos to Bell. Bell back to Coronado, and he is out at second base. He went on the first move. Moskos nabbed him. 1-3-6 on the out. No runs, no hits, an error, and as it turns out, nobody left on base. We'll head to the 7th inning of baseball here tonight, still in a 6-6 ball game.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment double. Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers baseball. Make a night of it.
6 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors, and 4 runners left on base for York. The Barnstormers with 6 runs on 8 hits with 1 error, and Lancaster is stranded only 3. Now Grant Sides comes into the ball game for the York Revolution. 6'4" right-hander from Northport, Alabama originally. That is next to Tuscaloosa. He's thrown 3 shutout innings since joining the Revolution from the Kansas City T-Bones. He's allowed 3 hits, not walked anybody, and he has struck out 1. All 3 hits he's allowed have been singles. So he's got to face Sanford, Amaral, and Garner in the top half of the 7th. The story again tonight, the Barnstormers were being battered early. They were down 5-0 on 8 York hits. Over the first 2 innings, the Barnstormers were 6 up and 6 down in those 2 innings, but Lancaster has roared back to tie the game. We're 6 apiece going into the 7th inning. Here is Sanford, who has scored twice and driven in 1 tonight. He is 1 for 3, has his 42nd stolen base. The 6'4", Grant Sides, ready to throw his first pitch. Brought into a critical game here tonight. Keeps the ball low, 1-0. Sides certainly does not walk this guy leading off the 7th inning in a tie ball game. Sanford will turn it into the ultimate track meet. 1-0. Sides works from a very high set position. Inside and low. Sanford bats 2-0. Grant Sides signed with Cleveland in 2011. Coming out of Samford University in Birmingham, not far away from Harmona organization. This year at Kansas City, 2-3 with 3 saves and a 2.40 earned run average. He struck out 71 batters in 48 2/3 innings. 2-0 coming to Sanford, and Darien takes ball 3 outside. Well, that bat's going to be stapled to his shoulder here. 3-0 to Darian Sanford. Bo Amaral waits on deck. Amaral's had a very good series here. Three and 0. Darian gets ball 4. He's on with the leadoff walk. Sides putting himself into immediate danger. Amaral will step in. He has a run scored and a run batted in. 1 out of 2 officially. Now the Barnstormers will try to work Sanford around. They got Coronado to third with 1 out last inning and failed to get him home. We're going to have a mound visit right away from Paul Fletcher. Sides threw 4 in a row out of the zone and was close with maybe 1. Sanford on base, and Grant Sides' attention will definitely be Van Meter. Went an inning and a third. He gave up 1 base hit. That was to Coronado, leading last inning. And he struck out 1. R.J. Hively, and it with no base runners that he, under his power, allowed. He struck out 3. Garner on deck, and then Holton. Lancaster tries to take a lead in the 7th inning. Can you imagine the pressure that York will feel if the Barnstormers win tonight? They'll have to defend their home turf tomorrow. They thought they were going to celebrate back on Thursday. Sides to the high set. Amaral shows bunt and then takes a strike. It is 0-1. Fletcher seems to have gotten his right-hander calmed down. Sanford back in the 5th inning, got the second on a pass ball and stole third, with Amaral in the caravan behind him. No balls, 1 strike to Bo. Sides that unnaturally high set position, hands over his head. Time is called. Amaral has waited too long. Just getting the 7th inning underway. The Barnstormers with a runner on. No balls, 1 strike to Amaral. What are the Barnstormers up to? Sanford will stay put, and strike 2 is dealt to the knees. Barnstormers at some point here need to convert the leadoff runner into the go-ahead run. 4th straight inning, the Barnstormers have had the leadoff man get on base and ultimately scoring in first 2. But they haven't been able to take the lead. To Amaral. Sanford out to the lead, and the time is called before Sides can cut the pitch loose. He came through with it anyway. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Infield set, double play depth. The Barnstormers have hit into 1 tonight. Here's the 0-2. Amaral swings through the fastball. Sides roars back from a 4-pitch walk with a 3-pitch strikeout. Cole Garner will come to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a sac fly. And Amaral getting into a heated discussion now with the home plate umpire Jorge Terran. We saw 2 ejections from last night's game. It's late in the season, and these games have incredible ramifications for these 2 ball clubs. Garner stepping in. Sanford still at first with 1 out. Amaral not happy about the way that at bat went. He's unable to advance Darian Sanford, who starts off, doesn't go here. Ball 1 is low to Garner. And the fans wanted that call. Tehran right now can't please anybody. Ball one, no strikes to Cole Garner. Sean Halton to follow. Again, a very high set by Sides. He'll throw to first, Sanford back in. One would think that would slow him down to the plate, but if that were the case, Sanford would have been long gone by now. One ball and nothing to Cole. Sanford bobbing around off first, and Sides will step off. Great comeback, pulled off by the Barnstormers. Coming back from the 5-0 deficit, but still, they haven't been able to forge into the lead. 1-0 due to Garner. Sanford will go. The pitch popped up foul out of play. So it is 1-1. Sanford almost to left field before putting on the brakes. Oh, he's Downing now warming up in the bullpen for the Barnstormers. Sanford, the runner at first with one out. A ball and a strike to Cole Garner. Cole checking down to Ross Peoples for instructions. Sides ready to go. He's going to throw to first. Sanford dives back in. Tommy Shirley and Frank Gailey, the opposing starters tomorrow. Will it still matter? Just hoping the answer is yes. They say 139 games in a row without the Barnstormers clinching anything or being eliminated in a split season schedule. That's some. Sanford goes, the pitch is high, and a balk is called on Sides anyway. Will get the go-ahead run into scoring position on the balk. Trying to hurry it up, didn't come to the full set. He's complaining to the first base umpire, Gandolfo, that in his version of baseball he did. 1 ball, 1 strike still to Cole Garner. Tejeda would have had the perfect pitch to throw. Garner and Halton now to put the Barnstormers into the lead. Sanford off of second base. Cole Garner batting at a ball and a strike. Sides. Hands once again over his head. Sanford takes off for third, and the throw ends up in left field. Darian Sanford onto his feet. He's going to score the go-ahead run. The speed of Darian Sanford, all the difference. Stolen base, E2, and Lancaster is up 7-6. Meanwhile, 2 balls and a strike to Garner. A walk, a balk, a steal, and a throwing error. The 4th York error of the game, by the way, committed against the Barnstormers in a game this season. Lancaster has the lead, and now the Barnstormers, 9 precious outs. Sanford scoring for the 3rd time in the game. Here's the 2-1 high off of the glove of Tejeda. 3-1 to Garner. Halton on deck. Lancaster with the lead. After being down 5 runs at one point. Three and one. Sides to Garner. Ball 4 upstairs. Grant Sides has walked his second. He'll face Halton with another runner aboard. Sean Halton with a walk and a tremendous home run over the wall in left field. That tied the game back in the 5th inning.
The third baseman, number 19, Sean Halton.
That for Halton, his 33rd tying or go-ahead run batted in of the season. 89 ribbies overall. And he's tied Michael Snyder for the league lead as far as we know with his 25th home run. Trayvon Robinson will run for Garner. Exit Cole, enter Trayvon. Halton will attempt to add to the Barnstormers' lead. Bottom 7 now. Somerset still leading Bridgeport 4-2. Long Island and Sugar Land 1-1, bottom 6. Sides will go to work on Halton. Infield double play depth, the pitch, check swing foul. It is 0-1. Caleb Gindel waits on deck. Lancaster looking for insurance following the walk to Garner. Barnstormers with 4 stolen bases in the game. Sanford with his 42nd and his 43rd of the year, and he has drawn a couple of bad throws now on steal attempts of third base. Halton bats 0-1. Sides ready to go. The pitch upstairs. Make it 1 ball, 1 strike. Moskos should come out to start the 7th inning anyway and face Mitchell and Silva, the back-to-back left-handed hitters. 1 ball, 1 strike. Halton looks at ball 2 below the knees. Sides, with the exception of the Amaral at bat, has been very erratic with his control. Halton up there 2-1. Hoping Sides will make a mistake. Here's the pitch. Inside, almost hit him. 3-1. It's not that the Barnstormers have hit the ball tremendously well in this game. When they've gotten runners on, their aggression on the base paths has certainly paid off tonight. Ricardo Gomez is warming up now for York. 3-1. The pitch to Halton is popped up. Racing over on this is Nash and Tejeda. It's into the seats. 3-2 now to Sean. I don't think you see Robinson go here, but you could. Try and force Tejeda to make his best throw of the night. If Halton happens to strike out. 3-2. The count to Sean. Southern Maryland being shut out, so we don't need to worry about Snyder having hit a home run tonight. So we know Sean is tied for the league lead there. 3-2 to Halton. Robinson takes off. Ground ball pulled foul past Peoples. And a good thing Sean made contact because Robinson got a bad start. He spun his wheels. Still 3-2 on the Barnstormer third baseman. Batting with 1 out, 1 on. Caleb Gindel in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch once again. We'll see if Robinson goes a second time. He does. The 3-2 is ripped to left center field in for a base hit. Robinson is going to head to third. Halton a wide turn at first. He'll hold up. Caleb Gindel will step in with runners at first and third. Still only one out in the inning. That makes the run earned. Charge decides. Lancaster's 9th hit of the ball game. Gindel is 0 for 3. Mark Mason is coming out. Already the signal goes to the bullpen. The Barnstormers up by 1, looking for more. We're going to have the pitching change, and while we do, let's take a break with the Barnstormers up by 1.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
One-time Barnstormer Ricardo Gomez comes on here in the 7th inning. And you don't generally talk about a one-time Barnstormer, or a guy who was with us in 8 and 9 seasons ago. But it's how long Ricardo Gomez has stayed around this league with the Barnstormers, with York, and with Long Island. Gomez 3-4 in 40 appearances, 3.41 ERA. He has saved 2 ball games, 30 hits in 37 innings. He has walked 15 and struck out 44. He needs a strikeout, a pop-up, or a double play here. Caleb Gindel stepping in. Caleb has grounded out twice, and he has popped up. He's got Trayvon Robinson at third and Sean Halton at first. 1 man out here in the 7th inning. Lancaster has already taken a 7-6 lead. Gindel tries to add to that. Nate Coronado is on deck. He has a pair of hits. Gomez will step off. Gomez delivers high. Ball 1 to Gindel. 28 extra base hits for Gindel as a Barnstormer, 19 more for the Richmond Flying Squirrels. 20 doubles, 9 triples, and 18 home runs for Caleb on the season. Here's the 1-0, ground ball to the middle. That should be a double play. Dent, the step, and the throw. And again, for the 3rd time in the game, the Barnstormers fail to score a runner from third base that they've had there with 1 out. Gomez getting the job done in the inning. It is 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. Time for the 7th inning stretch. The Barnstormers have a 7-6 lead.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasure baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can ball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Your family visit today. All
Fan, we have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Storm's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
Daniel Moscas will be facing Jared Mitchell, Ruby Silva, and Telvin Nash. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Lancaster leading by a run. And now to hold it. Mitchell will lead off. He is 1 for 3. He never saw a pitch against Moscas last inning. Harris went on Daniel's first move, and the Barnstormers guessed correctly. Harris did not. It's a mind game over there. When you have a fast runner and a left-handed pitcher, and the Barnstormers got Harris 1 to 3 to 6. They played it perfectly. Now here is Jared Mitchell. Lancaster needs 9 outs, but the lead only at 1. As Lancaster's had trouble driving in runs over the past couple of innings. Mitchell is hit by the first pitch, and he'll go to first base with the tying run. Almost got out of the way. Moscas makes a mistake. Ruby Silva will come in. Silva 2 for 3 with 2 runs driven in. The Barnstormers would have a great deal more breathing room if they could have scored Robinson. Ball is loose from the Lancaster bullpen, and I got to believe that is still, he's Downing throwing in that direction. Infield set up, double play depth. We'll see if Silva, the number 3 batter, bunts here. Moscas will go to work, and he's going to throw over on Mitchell, but Mitchell wouldn't bite. What a tremendous job by the Barnstormers coming from behind in this game now. With the lead, they have to hold on. The tying run at first here in the 7th. We'll go to first base again. To Silva, ground ball through the hole on the right side. Mitchell is going to make the turn and head to third. The throw will be cut off at second base. Runners are at the corners with nobody out. Silva finds the hole on the right side, and we'll see if the Barnstormers make a change here. A hit banner and a single into right. Telvin Nash will come to the plate, but not before Ross Peoples heads to the mound. Daniel Moscas unable to retire a batter here in the 7th inning. Ross is yet to signal to the bullpen, but he's going to do that. Moscas will hand the baseball over. That is an out on Silva. If there's not the runner on ahead of him, it was just a bouncing ball on the right side, but with Bell holding Mitchell, he had no chance to get there. Downing will come in, trying to protect the 1-run lead. That is precarious right now. We've got the pitching change, and while we do, again, these messages.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Big appearance for right-hander Kaohe Downing, the right-hander from Honolulu. His 54th ball game of the year, 2-1 with a 2.88 earned run average. He becomes the 5th Barnstormer hurler tonight. Daniel Moskos hitting a batter and giving up the bouncing single into right. And now the tying run at third and the lead run at first base for York with Telvin Nash stepping in. Nash is 1 for 3. He has doubled to drive in a run. Barnstormers just couldn't quite continue to apply the pressure to the bullpen of the York Revolution in the top of the inning. They got the 1-run home, but again had a runner die at third base. Nash digging in, the pitch popped up, and I mean up. Nate Coronado can have a sandwich before this comes down. He'll make the catch. That is a big first out. Isaias Tejeda will come to the plate. Telvin Nash let it fly on the first pitch, and fly it did, but straight up almost. Runners at first and third with 1 out. Isaias Tejeda stepping in. He has walked, struck out, and grounded a short. And now Downing is a double play from getting Moskos out of the jam in the bottom of the 7th and protect the 1-run lead. You still got to get through a very good hitter in Tejeda and not a bad one at all in Verona on anything other than a double play here. Mitchell at third, Silva the runner at first. 1 out in the inning. And to Isaias Tejeda, slider missing away, ball 1 and no strikes. Infield at double play depth, Coronado and Zawadzki. Downing works 1-0. Silva takes off. The pitch, a called strike, and Clevenger's not going to throw. They'll let Silva take second. And now the Barnstormers are going to bring the infield in. Of course, that's risky. You don't want to give up the tying run, but at the same time, you risk the lead run also scoring at a greater level here. Isaias Tejeda batting at a ball and a strike against Kaohe Downing. Downing with 53 strikeouts in 56 2/3 innings. One ball, 1 strike, the count on Tejeda. Mitchell leads off third, Silva big lead off second, and the pitch gets away from Clevenger. This will tie the game. Downing with a wild pitch, I do believe. Now it's a pass ball. Charge to Clevenger, and it's 7-7 with the lead run to third. Second pass ball, charge to Clevenger in the game. And now Tejeda just looking to get Silva home from third base. And the Barnstormers will have to come back. 2 balls and a strike on Isaias Tejeda. Tyrone Verona, the designated hitter, waiting on deck. Here's the 2-1 offering. Slider missing low. 3 balls and a strike. A hit batter, a bouncing single. Now they're going to put Tejeda on and take their chances with Verona. But a hit batter, a bouncing single. And after a pop-up, a stolen base and a pass ball. Now it is 7-7 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Tyrone Verona stepping in, and never has a double play been needed more by the 2017 Lancaster Barnstormers. Downing goes to work on Verona, outside and low, ball 1. Clevenger has worked with Downing some, but Anderson De La Rosa will tell you he can be tough to handle. Ross Peoples is coming back out. He's got more action in the bullpen. And this is not going to be a pitching change, I don't believe. I think the Barnstormers are using their final timeout here. Peoples is trying to get Clevenger and Downing on the same page. Scott Schumann is warming up in the Lancaster bullpen. But I don't know that Ross wants to go there yet. 3 innings. He's going to be out of arms. One ball and no strikes to Verona with Silva, the go-ahead run at third, and Tejeda on at first base. So York now with an opportunity to get a big jump in the late innings. Downing to Verona, swing and a miss. Will make it a ball and a strike. Verona had 2 hits early. He struck out in the 5th inning against R.J. Hively, and the bat has been leaving his grip quite a bit tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners lead off the corners. Downing ready to deliver, swing and a miss, make it 1-2. Travis Witherspoon, the on-deck batter. Lancaster will have Coronado, Clevenger, and Bell up in the 8th inning. And I would have to think that would be against Ricardo Gomez. Threw 2 pitches and got the double play ball out of Gindel. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Set the pitch, down and away, flagged by Clevenger. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This has not been a clean game by any means. We have seen 5 errors, 3 passed balls, and a balk. Here's the pitch. Verona pops it up. Zawadski will take charge. Gindel coming hard behind him, and Zawadski drops the ball. The go-ahead run will score. Throwing to second will get a force out on Tejeda. But Zawadski drops the pop-up into shallow right field. And York is up 8-7. It's a fielder's choice with the outgoing 4-6 on Tejeda. Infield fly, not enforced with runners at first and third. There's no error on the play, much as you might want to give one. He got an out. Travis Witherspoon coming to the plate. He is 0 for 3. York now with the 1-run lead as we go back and forth. That would have been the second out. Missing inside, a ball on Witherspoon, 1-0. Well, that is unfortunate. And the pass ball also unfortunate. Infield fly would have been in force. If it hadn't been for the pass ball, it would have been bases loaded with 1 out. Now a topper up the third base line. Downing on it. He'll throw to first and throw the ball away. It's down into the bullpen bench. Hopping toward third base now is Verona. He's in really bad shape. So it looks like he's going to have to come out of the game. The ball retrieved from the bullpen bench. That should be an infield base hit and an error charged to Downing. Still 8-7, runners at second and third. I can't see Verona staying in the ball game after that. What a mess. Now Ryan Dent will try to give the York Revolution a 3-run lead. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game tonight. So Verona is going to have to be helped off the field. He could only hobble into third. Well, that will be it for Tyrone Verona. We'll have to get a pinch runner over there. But York has an 8-7 lead, and the Barnstormers will have to get to the back end of the York Revolution bullpen. So it's Luis Cruz who will pinch run for Verona. Second and third with 2 outs, and they're going to walk Dent and face Simpson, who has struck out all 3 times. Second intentional walk of the inning. Well, Simpson with an at-bat that could conceivably put York into the postseason. Here comes Ross Peoples again. A very strange appearance for Downing. He gives up 2 intentional walks, an infield base hit. Well, that is a strange outing indeed. The 2 runs are charged to Moscas, and at this point, they're both earned, strangely enough. They would not have scored until the infield base hit and the walk, I don't believe. So Scott Schumann taking over here, and he's got to get an out against Simpson, who was 0 for 3 with 3 punch outs. We'll take a break. The Barnstormers down 8-7. We'll send you back to the studio again for these messages.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Scott Schumann takes over, and he'll need to get an out against Chase Simpson to keep the Barnstormers within 1. The bases are loaded with the pinch runner Cruz at third, Travis Witherspoon at second, and Ryan Dent on at first base. Lancaster has come back from a 5-0 deficit tonight to take a lead coming into a very bizarre bottom half of the 7th inning. There has been 1 error, 2 intentional walks, an infield single, a hopper through the right side, a hit batter, a stolen base, and a passed ball. It's been a trail mix of an inning without a dried apricot. 2 outs, base is full. And the pitch to Simpson, he checks on ball 1 high, 1-0. Downing goes 2/3. The 3 runners on base are his. 1-0. Schumann to Simpson, who has struck out 3 times against 3 different pitchers. Schumann comes back. It's lifted foul and out of play, 1-1. York 8, Lancaster 7. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Defense has been less than ideal on both sides in this game. The Barnstormers have given up a ton of unearned runs as of late, although these two, I believe, are now earned. 1-1, and Simpson swings and misses at a Schumann fastball. Scott's ahead at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And of course, we're almost 3 hours long and just in the bottom of the 7th inning. Why not? This game is, to some extent, a microcosm of the Barnstormers season. Here's the pitch. Rocketed to right field. Way back it goes. That's a grand slam for Simpson. And York is now 6 outs away. On a 1-2 pitch from Schumann. He gives up the grand slam. It's 12-7 in favor of York. Then the Barnstormers come back again. 3 runs charged to Downing. And unfortunately, all earned. He had a much better outing than that. A 1-2 pitch, and Simpson hits his 5th home run of the season. York with a 6th spot in the bottom of the 7th. Stormers had taken a lead in the game. How can Lancaster score 5 runs in the next 6 outs? Well, don't put it past them. Alonzo Harris coming to the plate. Schumann will go to work and miss outside. Ball 1-0. Wow. That's a stunner. Schumann seemed to have him. And that pitch was right in the wheelhouse and knocked off the yellow tents. 1-0 pitch, popped up, foul territory. Over comes Bell. He's not going to get there. It bounces off the dugout rooftop. Alonzo Harris batting at a ball and a strike. So they're putting the plastic up, I'm sure, here in York with the Revs up by 5. A very sloppy inning for the Barnstormers after they just took the lead. This has not been a pretty game. Huge swing and a miss by Harris. 1-2. He ended up backwards on his heels. 5-run difference reemerges. The same margin York had after 2 innings. 1-2. Schumann to Harris. Check swing. He did not go. Ball 2 outside. The only hard hit ball of the entire inning for the York Revolution is a grand slam that may have sealed the deal. A hit batter, 2 weak singles, a drop pop up, intentional walks, and now Harris wallops 1 to left. Way back it goes, 13-7. Again with 2 strikes in the count. Oh my. In the bottom of the 7th inning, it's a 7-run frame for York. Lancaster needed 9 outs to force the season to tomorrow. And now the deficit is at 6, and Jared Mitchell, who was hit by the first or second pitch of this inning, to get it all started, will step in for a second time. 13-7 in favor of the York Revolution. Leading 5-1 over Long Island. Bridgeport is 3 down. ninth inning. Rain for the length of pitching just ran a high fly ball, and they'll take on 4 hits, officially only 1 error, and all these runs end up being earned. Nobody left on base. We'll go to the 8th inning. It is York 13 and the Barnstormers 7.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Visit StrasburgRailroad.com.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. Brews, check online at Federal Tap House. Federal Tap House, 201, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
The Barnstormers have risen from the ashes many times this year, but the ash heap is a very large one right now. They're down 6 runs going into the 8th inning following a 7-run explosion for York in the home 7th. It had looked like Downing might get out of the inning in a 7-7 tie. And then Zawadzki dropped the pop-up, still got an out. That made it 8-7. Being loaded after the second intentional walk, and Chase Simpson hits the grand slam, and just for good measure, the home run follows off the bat of Alonzo Harris, his 23rd. Coronado 2 for 3 tonight with a stolen base. The Barnstormers have not been able to get the multi-run hits. They've gotten hits, they've driven in runs. Coronado takes a strike from Gomez, who's in line for the win. It is 0-1. The Barnstormers, a 75-win season. The best overall record in the Freedom Division by 7 games if they lose tonight. Swing and a miss by Coronado. It's 0-2. That pitching and defense, 2 areas where Ross Peoples really wanted to have a great ball club. Pitching speed and defense. Speed is there. The Barnstormers setting the franchise record, shattering it for teams' stolen bases. 1-2 on Coronado. Gomez comes back. Nate with a little dribbler up the third baseline. He'll stay in there. 183 stolen bases for the Barnstormers this year. The previous high was 172. Gomez hesitates, 1-2, sidearm slider, foul tipped and held. Strike 3. That brings on Steve Clevenger. He is 1 for 3 with a run batted in. The Barnstormers have just 5 outs left of life here in 2017. Taking a ball outside, it is 1-0. Something enormous would have to happen. Lancaster was looking to win 3 in a row for the first time since the first week of August. And they won 4 straight there. Ball 2 is away to Clevenger. 2 balls and nothing. Josh Bell is on deck, and after that, Zawadzki. Strike taken. It is 2-1. Please, folks in our listening audience, I know there's some disappointment right now, but do not have a bad thought in any way, shape, or form about this ball club. Breaking ball for a strike. They have played their hearts out this season. Gomez ready to go. Way inside and low. Lancaster needs somehow to make up 6 runs here. Ball club giving up consecutive home runs for the 8th time this season. That is unbelievable. Ball 4 is outside. Clevenger will pick up a walk. That's one guy. Here is Bell. Josh is doubled, grounded into a double play, and he is struck out. It's happened to Bergeson 3 times, Rami Lewis twice, Jared Leverett and John Anderson once each, and now Scott Schumann tonight. Who would have thought that? And it's Anderson warming up in the bullpen for the Barnstormers. Schumann had given up only 2 home runs in 57 1/3 innings prior to this evening's game. Slider good for a strike. It's 0-1 on Bell. There's no final report on Somerset Bridgeport. Bell swings and misses again, make it 0-2. The high set and a JB. Foul ball back, too hot for Tejeda to handle. Still 2 strikes in the count. Gomez working with the lead, simply on the attack here. All kinds of weird things happening in the home half of the 7th inning, and all of a sudden, the back-to-back home runs. Oh, 2 again. Bell looking at a pitch up and away. Lance Zawadzki on deck. Does that inning turn out differently if Zawadzki catches the pop-up by Verona? Officially, no, because he got an out still on the play, and a lot happened afterwards that would have scored that run from third. But it would have been 2 outs, first and third. A whole different picture. And still 7-7. Strike 3 called at the knees on Bell. He can't believe it. Second strikeout for Ricardo Gomez. Now here is Zawadzki, 1 for 3. Lancaster fought back so hard from the early 5-0 hole and took a very brief 7-6 lead. They couldn't stretch it. Gomez has been fabulous. To Zawadzki, a strike. It is 0-1. Chase Hutchinson warming up in the bullpen for the York Revolution. He'll come on in the 9th. They'll look for him to wrap it up. He was their pitcher of the year. He's been sensational. Tall, 3/4 throwing lefty. Ball 1 is high. Zawadzki had a ball and a strike here. They have not finalized the game in Bridgeport. I have to think it's over. Nothing has changed. Ball 2 to Lance. 2 balls and a strike. Darian Sanford waiting on deck. What a difference he has made since coming back. Zawadzki with a swing and a miss. Gomez is even with him at 2-2. Lance has 2 Atlantic League Championship rings and another playoff berth. Winning has followed him where he's gone here. Swing and a miss. Gomez strikes out the side around the walk. Just 3 outs left of the Barnstormers. Will go to the bottom of the 8th. York leading by a score of 13-7.
Hey, Jane, check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with 9s in a line, you could win progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg is your hometown appliance store with hometown values. We always give back to our community, and this year we are proud to be a sponsor of the East Petersburg Amphitheater Project. Stop in and purchase from us and keep your money here, helping others in your community. We are back again this season with a $25,000 giveaway at the stadium, and you can stop in and register for a Barnstormers game jersey. We want to be your appliance store and give back to all of you. Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg.
A crowd of 7,035 tonight here at Peoples Bank Park, enjoying a 13-7 York Revolution lead. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and John Anderson will appear on the hill. Ruby Silva, Telvin Nash, and Isaias Tejeda will be the scheduled hitters. It is over in the Liberty division. Long Island ultimately backing in. Somerset with the 5-2 win over Bridgeport tonight. Skeeters Sugarland leading Long Island 5-1 in the top of the 8th inning. Lancaster Barnstormers, a 75-win team. The Bridgeport Bluefish, a 76-win team. 2 best records in the league, but both ball clubs getting caught in the split season crossfire. And I would almost like to propose, it'll never fly, but I'd like to propose these other 4 teams battle it out through their respective best-of-5 series, and the Barnstormers play Bridgeport in a best-of-7, and the 2 winners meet. Swing and a miss by Silva. He had the chopping single into right that really built that 7-run 7th inning. Swing and a miss against John Anderson. It's 0-2. So, barring an amazing rally in the top of the 9th, tomorrow will be the only time all year when the Barnstormers play a meaningless game. And I just think all the stress, all the tension just burn this club out in the long run. Chip shot out the center. Sanford right there to retire Silva one away. They just haven't been quite the same. They got off to a great start, both halves. Sort of settled into the first half. The second half, again, since about the 5th of August, the club hasn't played well. The first game of that, Sunday afternoon loss, the final game of a series against Sugarland. They had won the first 2. You could almost separate that. But that trip to Bridgeport, followed by the continued stress of having to work toward that game, the makeup game against Southern Maryland, this club has not been quite right ever since that combination. And we'd be talking, I truly believe this, the whole club truly believes this, we'd be talking about an entirely different scenario if that game had been played as was scheduled on July 29th. The move of that game to August 14th, in all likelihood, has cost the Barnstormers a trip to the playoffs. A lot of things happened between July 29th and August 14th. Here's a 1-1 that is drilled out the left by Nash. Chasing it down is Ammerhall, and Nash will make a wide turn at first and hold on. Isaias Tejeda will come to the plate. 15 base hits now for the York Revolution tonight. They win the Community Cup, too, if they hold on in the 9th inning. That is sort of buried in everything else right now. Usually it's a big deal. One out with Nash at first. Tejeda stepping in against Anderson. 2 runs off Moskus last inning, 3 off Downing and 2 off Schumann. And amazingly, they're all earned. Drilled to center. Sanford in his tracks makes the catch. Tejeda's retired. Luis Cruz will bat for the first time in the game. Generally, the starting catcher for the York Revolution. We'll wrap up the season tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. And the game can be played for fun. The Barnstormers, I would love that 76th win and maybe end up tied with Bridgeport for the best overall record in the league. That Tommy Shirley against Frank Gailey tomorrow. Ball 1 is low, 1-0, the count to Cruz. Barnstormers will be down 3 games with 1 to go. It kind of mathematically locks things up. Ball is high to Cruz, 2-0. But baseball is baseball. There's always a chance. It's certainly a long shot. It's a 1 in 10,000 chance maybe, but a chance. Here's a 2-0, called strike in on Cruz, 2-1. Swing and a miss. Cruz batting at 2-2 against Anderson. But it is with the if Long Island does lose tonight, it will be locked in that the teams with the best overall records in the respective divisions, overall records in the league for the 2017 season, do not go to the playoffs. And I don't know if that's going to make the Atlantic League reconsider. I doubt that it will. Split season has been part of this league for 20 years. They believe in it very deeply, and there are arguments for it with the turnover in players. But when you have the 2 best teams in the league not in the playoffs, that's kind of a hard pill. Nash will take off from first here, 3-2, swing and a miss. Down goes Cruz, so Anderson pitches a scoreless inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the man left. 9th inning of baseball coming up. The Barnstormers with 1 last shot. They need to score 6. It is York 13 and Lancaster 7.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 306 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz, we have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Chase Hutchinson trying to send the York Revolution into the postseason. Hutchinson has been fabulous. He was an all-star selection from his work in the first half, and he's only gotten better. 4-3 is Hutchinson with 5 saves and a 1.39 ERA, 39 hits, 8 earned runs in 52 innings. He has walked 22 and he has struck out 41. Darian Sanford will lead off the 9th inning. He was such a huge part of the Lancaster comeback tonight, reaching on a single, a fielder's choice, and a walk, and scoring each time. 2 more stolen bases for him. He's got 43 on the year. Hutchinson ready to go. Sanford looking at a strike at his 0-1. Ricardo Gomez, the one-time Barnstormer, in line for the win. An inning and 2/3 for him. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. The big thing he did was get the double play out of Gindel. That kept the Barnstormers from building on the lead in the top of the 7th. If it's 8-6, 9-6, the whole picture changes in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's how big that double play was. A ball is high on Darian Sanford. It is 1-1. Amaral and Robinson will follow. Chase Hutchinson into the motion. And ball 2 is outside to Sanford. Tomorrow is going to be, by the way this looks, a very bittersweet day. Ball 3 is inside and low. Sanford try to get on base here. 3 balls, 1 strike. This group of men will never be assembled in full again. There's strike 2 on the outside edge to Sanford. Darian up there 3-2. And that is sad. Russ will go into the offseason and try and figure out a game plan for re-signing players, finding some new talent, mining the release wires, and in some cases, the other independent leagues. 3-2. The count to Sanford, and he'll take strike 3 call. Sanford goes down looking. That is 1 out, 2 left to get for York. The Revs will finish the season with a record below 500, but I think that York is the odds-on favorite to win the Atlantic League Championship. I don't see anything stopping them. Maybe the starting rotation from Southern Maryland. Maybe. They'll run into, I'm sure, Thompson, Hernandez, Grenning. Here's a pitch to Amaral outside off the glove of Tejeda. Ball 1, no strikes. 13-7 York here in the 9th. What a great battle the Barnstormers put on until that just bizarre and ugly bottom of the 7th inning. Swing and a miss by Bo. It is 1-1. And I said earlier, this game being a microcosm of the season. In many ways it is. The defense has not been airtight. The big innings have been an issue. The double plays have been an issue. Not getting runners home from third base with fewer than 2 outs. Breaking ball plunks Amaral, so the Barnstormers have 1 guy on. And here's Trayvon Robinson. He'll bat for the first time in the game. So all those things we've talked about all season long in the midst of, again, what's been a really good year. This team, out of the 13 Barnstormers seasons is tied for the third most wins. But the issues that have kind of always been there in the midst of the great offense and the stolen bases and the tremendous rallies and the grit of this ball club, they have all come home to roost here tonight. To Robinson, a first pitch strike. It is 0-1. Barnstormers 3 different times in this game have had a runner at third with fewer than 2 outs and failed to score that run. Grounding into 2 double plays. Now a swing and a miss by Robinson. Make it 0-2. Downing's bad throw. The dropped pop-up. Those created problems. Couple of pass balls tonight. Swing and a miss. Down goes Robinson. The Barnstormers had a year like York is having back in 2015. Terrible first half, and then won the second half and made it to the playoffs. But the Barnstormers won that second half so big that they actually ended up that season, I believe, with the 3rd best overall record in the league. So they didn't ultimately benefit from the split season. They would have been there anyway. First pitch to Sean Halton across for a strike. It is 0-1. Nice game for Halton, the home run to tie the game in the 5th inning, a walk and a single. 5 outs have come on strikeouts after that 7-run 7th inning. Amaral, the runner at first base. Oddly, they're still holding him. And a Halton inside and low, a ball and a strike. Oh. York 1 out away from the dog pile on the field and a trip to the playoffs, and the Barnstormers 1 out away from having the candle extinguished here in 2017. But a very bright candle it has been. 1-1. Halton, chopper towards shortstop. Dent will handle it, go to second for the force out. York goes to the playoffs. The Barnstormers have 1 more game to play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. A 7-run bottom of the 7th inning, sending York into the postseason. And the Barnstormers will be now putting their offseason plans into works. Sad, but a reality. We'll be back with the wrap-up show coming your way next. Our final score this evening, the York Revolution 13 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 7.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
The York Revolution advanced to the playoffs. Their 68th win of the year, good enough 13 runs, 15 hits, 4 errors, 5 left. And for the Barnstormers, 7 runs on 9 hits with 2 errors and 6 runners left on base. The win goes to Ricardo Gomez. He is 4-4. Daniel Moscas, the loss. He drops to 6-3. Home runs tonight, Sean Halton for the Barnstormers. The tying blow in the 5th inning is 25th to tie Michael Snyder for the league lead. And then the back-to-back shots in the 7th inning. The grand slam by Chase Simpson is 5th. And the home run by Harris that followed that is 23rd of the season. 3 hours, 17 minutes. The time of our game tonight, 70-35 here at People's Bank Park, a huge crowd. And if you think the War of the Roses is not alive and well, if you think the rivalry between Lancaster and York still is not a factor in this season series that York accomplished tonight after the game, the fact that they won the Community Cup back meant more to the crowd. It got a louder cheer than clinching the second half did. Can you believe that? Well, Lancaster, get out there next year and support your Barnstormers every time York comes in. They had 12 home games against the Barnstormers in this unbalanced schedule this year, only 7 games over at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Well, we're not going to go into all the Grizzly details tonight. Why bother? 5 runs for York early. Brad Bergeson just ran out of arm as the season went along. He did a magnificent job for the first about 18 starts, and then you could sort of see him winding down his first year pitching in 4 years. And tonight gave up 8 hits, 5 runs in 2 innings. The Barnstormers rallied from that. RBI singles for Darian Sanford and Bo Amaral in the 3rd inning. Another one from Steve Clevenger in the 4th. The 5th mostly built on the wheels of Darian Sanford, but Cole Garner ended up with a sac fly to drive in Bo Amaral, and Sean Halton tied the game with a home run. The Barnstormers would take the lead in the top of the 7th on a walk, a balk, a stolen base, and a throwing error. All with Sanford led off with a walk, and everything else happened with Cole Garner at the plate. But for the 3rd time tonight, the Revs snuck out of an inning with a runner at 3rd base and fewer than 2 outs. Caleb Gindel grounding into a double play against Ricardo Gomez, who had just come into the ball game, and that flipped the script in the ball game. York came out and scored 7 runs in a very ugly bottom of the 7th inning, capped off by the Simpson grand slam and the Harris solo home run that followed. The Barnstormers were at that point simply out of energy and never got a base hit. After that, they had a couple of runners on a walk and a hit by pitch. But what a season it's been. We'll look at the out-of-town scores when we come back here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
13-7, York defeating the Barnstormers tonight, and with that clinching the second half in the Freedom Division. Long Island has clinched the second half in the Liberty Division by virtue of Somerset's 5-2 win over the Bridgeport Bluefish. So Long Island's lead 2 with 1 game to go. York's lead 3 with 1 game to go. And in the other contest, it was New Britain over Southern Maryland. If you want to look at the overall standings, though, in the Atlantic League, again, the Bridgeport Bluefish and the Lancaster Barnstormers wrap up having the two best records in the Atlantic League this season. Long Island and Somerset now 4-3. Somerset's third, Long Island fourth, and York has the fifth best overall record in the Atlantic League this season. Southern Maryland is sixth, so teams 3 through 6 in the overall standings advancing to the postseason, while the Barnstormers and the Bridgeport Bluefish will be forced to go home, and at least the Barnstormers get the plan for next year. Not the case, apparently, with the Bridgeport Bluefish. I still think there is a small shred of hope that they'll get one more year in Bridgeport. This was season 20, but right now the plans are in the works ultimately to move that Bridgeport franchise, but we do not have really much of an idea what is in store for the 2018 Atlantic League season as far as that 8th franchise is concerned. On the Major League scoreboard, if you'll give me a quick moment to flip the page, Cleveland Indians with the 8-4 win earlier today over the City Royals. So losing track of how to win was a one-day thing for the Indians. They're playing once again in Philadelphia. Oakland one lead in the bottom of the fourth. They had the rain delay there. Miami 7 and Milwaukee 3. That's in the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays are up 7-2 at Minnesota. They're in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Colorado up big 7-0 over San Diego. They're in the bottom of the 6th. Arizona playing at San Francisco and leading 2-0. They had the on-deck 90, Paul Goldschmidt with a home run. The LA Angels on a 1-0 lead over the Texas Rangers through 3.5 innings. Houston beat Seattle earlier 8-6. Dodgers over the Nats 3-2. The New York Yankees again pounding the Orioles 9-3. Cubs over the Cards 4-1. The Cincinnati Reds 2-1 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sox belted the Tigers 10-4. Boston 3, Tampa Bay 1, and New York 7, Atlanta 3. And those all final scores. One somewhat major upset in college football. Everything else pretty much going according to script today. Memphis did beat UCLA to knock off a top 25 team, but tonight Mississippi State winning huge at home against the 12th ranked LSU Tigers. So that sets the SEC West in a little bit of turmoil early on. But again, just about everything else in college football going according to script on this third Saturday of the season. Well, tomorrow is it for the 2017 Lancaster Barnstormers. Sad to say, how many of these men that I consider my friends will see again. But it's been a terrific season. And the guys, I doubt, are listening to me right now, but hopefully there's no head hanging. This team fought and scrapped and clawed, sent 11 guys back to major league organizations, a franchise record, and before Somerset passed it later on, it was an Atlantic League record. 2 first-year coaches, 75 wins, second best record in the Atlantic League overall this season. Couldn't quite capture either half. So they'll go into tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Tommy Shirley scheduled for the Barnstormers. I don't know if York will stay with Frank Gailey or not, but congratulations to the Long Island Ducks and Somerset Patriots, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, and the York Revolution. And again, my pick is for York to win their third Atlantic League title. This team has been awfully, awfully good here in the second half. It'll all start Wednesday with Southern Maryland coming up here to take on the Revs. They'll be here Wednesday and Thursday, and it will be Somerset at Long Island Wednesday and Thursday, and then the series will change on Friday. Well, we'll be with you at 12:45 tomorrow. We'll talk to Ross. I'm sure he has very disappointed right now. The Barnstormers, after the big win last night, the great rally on Thursday night, a great comeback again here tonight, but they couldn't hold off the high-potency York Revolution late in the game. They made some mistakes in the field, and it all turned into a 7-run inning. York ends up with a 13-7 win here tonight. So until tomorrow, for all the cast and crew at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone. And, well, come over here tomorrow, and we'll see you at the ballpark.